How long have you been up?
Not too long. Here's your breakfast served in bed. Served by the old family retainer.
I can't even think about breakfast.
How you feeling?
Like I slept in a hayloft.
Want some breakfast? Hey, I made you some coffee and toast.
You always this energetic in the morning?
Pretty much.
Well, I'll have to remember that. Why don't you come back to bed for a few hours?
You haven't had enough sleep, huh?
I wasn't really thinking about sleeping.
No? Well, what were you thinking about?
Yes.
Who is it?
It's Alfredo.
Yeah, come in.
It's Mr. Carrington on the phone again.
I told you, Alfredo, to tell Elliot I'm not in.
I know, but he's...
I'm not in, Alfredo.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, honey.
Hi, Daddy. Where's Mama?
She went to the station for a meeting. Do you need her for something?
No, just wondering where she was.
You going out to the ranch today?
Maybe. Daddy,
Mm-hmm.
do you think Ryan will be able to keep Justin from drilling out there?
He's trying, but I think he's fighting a losing battle. The board of directors and the officers are all pushing him to lease the mineral rights from Justin and start drilling.
I'm going to ask you again, is there any way you can stop that?
I don't know. But I think I might have a way.
What's your idea?
The original deed to the Marshall land protected the mineral rights in a separate contract. Kate's trying to find it for me.
Now, that would mean that Justin owns the land, but not the mineral rights.
It's possible. And it's also possible Justin will find a way around it. But meanwhile, we can tie him up for a couple of years until the court settle the issue.
Oh, Daddy.
Morning, Mr. Connor.
Hello, Ashley. Aren't you going to ask me how I am this morning?
I think I know.
You told Justin about Mr. Johnson's disappearance, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Did you also tell him that I forced Mr. Johnson to quit?
No, I didn't tell him that.
Well, at least some of my faith in you is justified now, isn't it? Do you believe that I'm guilty of embezzling the company funds, killing my uncle?
Justin and Mrs. Wheeler do.
I'm asking you, Ashley!
Well, the evidence seems to point to your guilt.
Well, I'm going to prove that Justin's wrong, and to do that, I need an executive secretary that I can trust. And I can't trust you.
Where are you going?
Well, it's not where I'm going. It's where we're both going.
Where's that?
We got work to do today, remember?
I could just lie here all day.
Yeah? Well, maybe I'll go jogging if you want to sleep for another hour or so.
Jogging.
Now, you said you were going to make Ricky Decker a household name. You don't want him to turn into a fat slob, do you?
I don't think Ricky Decker could ever turn into a fat slob. Hey, what are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about everything that's happened. I'm excited, Ruby. I'm really excited about what I'm doing.
You should be. You only been singing at the Coop less than a month? Already you're on your way to turning into a big TV star.
I really want this, Ruby. What I said last night about being Max Decker's younger brother, I meant it. People have always seen me that way. Max was a great guy. I loved him. I miss him a lot. But I've always lived in his shadow. I don't want to be Max Decker's younger brother. I want Ricky Decker to be somebody special.
You already are.
No, I mean somebody really special.
Okay. Let's go to work.
This is the first time anyone's gotten the best of Justin.
Sometimes the law does work in our favor.
Didn't work in Max's favor.
It would have if he'd given it a chance.
You've been talking to Mama, haven't you?
Listen, I don't disagree with your mother's feelings about this revenge business of yours. What you need is more patience.
Max tried that, didn't he?
Not for very long. Patience is paying off for Kate, isn't it?
Yes.
Now that Justin knows he can't drill for oil, maybe he'll lose interest, sell land back to Kate.
And hopefully he'll move back into town so that Ryan and Ginny and Steve can live out there.
I can certainly understand why Ginny doesn't want to stay at the ranch with Justin there.
She's willing to put up with him for a while, but only because she doesn't want to leave Kate alone with him.
Kate can take care of herself.
Yes, but she shouldn't have to.
I think it's wonderful the way you two girls worry about Kate, and I'm proud of you. But Kate can probably handle Justin better than anyone.
Daddy, how soon do you think it'll be before you go to court for Kate?
Well, as soon as Kate finds the deed, we can start legal procedures. The papers are in Mike Marshall's study somewhere, and it shouldn't be more than a day or two.
I can't wait to see Justin's face when he finds out he bought that property for nothing.
Will you be satisfied then?
Of course, won't you?
Well, I'll certainly be happy for Kate, but what I'm asking you, will you be satisfied enough to leave Justin alone?
Maybe. Maybe I will. Hi, honey.
Hello, Jenny.
Daddy's just been giving me some great news about Justin's impending downfall. You want to hear it? What are you talking about? Daddy might have found a way to keep Justin from turning the ranch into an oil field. Now, isn't that wonderful?
Yes, it is.
What's wrong, Ginny?
Justin is framing Ryan for embezzling world oil funds.
Do you want me to find a job working for another company?
Yeah, I'd prefer that. Ashley, I know you love Justin, and that's why you're helping him.
I never thought it was wrong to help someone you love.
Well, it depends on how you'd help. I'm just surprised that someone as bright and intelligent as you are could ever get mixed up in something like this.
Is that all, Mr. Connor?
You know as well as I do that Justin was slant drilling on Max's property, and you also know that I'm not guilty of any wrongdoing.
Well, you know me better than I do.
You better enjoy yourself while you can. Because when Justin doesn't need your help anymore, you're going to find yourself on the way out.
Now you sound just like Miss Rena.
Well, no one knows Justin Marshall better than Rena, that's for sure.
You're wrong. I do.
Do you know where Mr. Johnson is?
No, I don't. That's the truth.
Would you tell me if you did know?
Fortunately, I don't have to make that decision.
But you would tell me, wouldn't you?
I don't know.
Either you ditch Justin, you better toughen up, Ashley, or he's going to destroy you. As mad as I am right now, I just wouldn't want to see that happen. You may leave.
That won't happen.
Oh, Mr. Johnson.
Never heard of him.
Alex never mentioned him?
Not to me.
Why would a man sign something like that? Unless Justin offered him a bundle of money.
I'm afraid Mr. Johnson's the only one who can answer that.
I'll bet Justin threatened him.
Well, Jenny, I'm going to go on into the office and talk to Ryan. Maybe we can work something out. Meanwhile, you two ladies, try to stay calm, will you?
My daddy, thank you.
Don't thank me yet.
Oh, I know you'll figure out something, just like we did for Kate. Darling, you want something to drink? Some iced tea?
No, thanks.
Did you spend the night with Ryan?
Yeah. I just couldn't leave him alone. Oh, Rena, this whole thing is so unfair.
I know, honey. I know exactly what you're talking about. Does Kate know where you were last night?
Yes. You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to go back to the ranch, pack some clothes, and come out here and stay with you. I just can't stand to see Justin.
That's fine, Jenny.
Maybe I can get Lurleen to stay with Kate.
You're scared, aren't you?
Yes, I'm terrified.
Tell me, how's Ryan?
He's angry. He's exhausted. I don't think he slept more than 2 hours last night. He spent most of the night pacing up and down in the living room.
Max used to get that way when he was angry and upset.
I'd just get him calmed down about Justin, and then he'd start it on Iris. I don't know if I did helped him at all.
Being with him last night helped him, Jenny.
I kept telling Ryan that he couldn't get railroaded into going to jail if he didn't do anything.
You really don't believe that, do you?
No. Between Justin and Iris, Ryan doesn't have a chance.
Well, call me as soon as you hear from him. Never mind, you just walked in. Thanks, Becky. And where have you been, huh?
Having breakfast with my banker. Have you submitted your resignation to the board yet?
No, I haven't.
Oh, Ryan, you saved yourself a lot of trouble.
Where's the statement Johnson signed? Huh? Thank you.
It's only a copy, of course.
What'd you have to do to get this, Justin? Did you buy Johnson off or threaten him, huh?
Yeah. Ask him yourself.
Now, you don't think I'm stupid enough to believe that Johnson's still in town, do you?
He's over in Conroe, as far as I know. Hovered over his books.
Yeah, I bet he is, huh?
Well, all right. I did you a favor.
Oh, you did?
Iris wanted to go public with all of this. I talked her out of it. I told her it was only fair to allow you to resign quietly, and then...
No, I'm not resigning.
Oh, suit yourself. It's bound to get a little messier, though.
This is really nothing more than idle slander.
What are you talking about? That is an accusation.
Where are your specific charges, Justin? How much money did I embezzle, anyway? And from what companies? And what did I do with the money? Come on, Justin. Where are the names, dates, and places?
All that information is in Johnson's work file.
And that file is missing, isn't it?
Oh, it's too bad.
And without that file, you can't prove a thing, can you?
I don't have to prove anything. The charges are against you. It's up to you to prove your innocence if you can. There's not too much time. Iris wants you out, old buddy. She's not going to wait around forever.
Until this whole thing is resolved, I'm still in charge here. You remember that, buddy.
Aye, sir. Oh, I hope you won't wait too long to make the decision about leasing the mineral rights to the 5 acres. Technically, it belongs to Grandma, so there shouldn't
I
be
made a
problem.
decision about that no deal.
Oh. That's too bad. The board isn't going to be happy to hear that.
Well, they won't be when I tell them that the mineral rights are not yours to lease, Justin.
What?
Well, you see, the original deed to the Marshall land protected the mineral rights with a separate contract. So Kate controls those rights, Justin. Not you. Excuse me, I have a meeting with the head of accounting.
Where's Angela?
She's back in the kitchen helping Robert.
Maggie, I've been thinking about what you said. And you're right. I gotta make up my mind. I'm not being fair to Billy Joe.
Well, it's not fair to you either, Nita. Excuse me, please.
Part of the problem is that I'm scared. You know, there's something so frightening about coming home, closing the door, and knowing that you're all alone, that no one's there.
Well, you got Billy Joe Jr.
Well, that frightens me even more. The responsibility of taking care of him all by myself.
Nita, you are acting like this situation's gonna last forever. You're a young woman. Why, you're gonna find somebody sooner or later that's gonna love you and somebody that you can trust and be happy with.
I'm not so sure about that. I've been going with Billy Joe from high school. I've never really gone out with anybody else. I don't know if I'd be able to. Well, it's been so many years.
You are talking like you're an old lady.
Well, sometimes I feel like one. No, sometimes I do. So much has happened since I've been married. Sometimes I feel like it's been ages.
Well, now listen, Nita, I'm sorry I even said a word. I didn't know you were going to get so wrong.
No, I'm the one that's sorry. I'm sorry to drag this whole thing on for months. Okay, I'm going to make a decision.
Justin, what are you doing here?
Thinking.
About what?
How to get the mineral rights to the ranch?
But you've already bought control of the ranch.
I didn't buy the mineral rights. They're protected under a separate contract. Grandma owns the rights.
Oh, my Lord. You can't drill on it.
Not for a while, anyway.
What are you going to do about it?
I've already called my lawyer. I'll take it to court.
How long will that take?
I don't know. Stryker Bellman is Kate's lawyer. He's the hot shot in this area. He could keep me tied up in court for years.
Justin, why don't you sell the ranch back to your grandmother?
No.
Well, what good is it going to do you now?
We're going to raise our children there. Those are my roots, Ashley. How can I make the Marshalls the first family in the state without those roots? I'm not leaving, all right?
All right. All right. Where is Mr. Connor?
He's in accounting. What did Ryan have to say about Johnson's statement?
He said I was fired.
He fired you?
Well, Justin, you can't very well blame the man. I mean, I'm the one that told you about Mr. Johnson and all that.
All right, then you go to work for me. I'll fire Becky.
Well, there's no use in firing Becky. He already wants her to replace me.
All right, then you're hired.
I don't think that Mr. Connor's going to allow that, Justin.
You can't tell me who to hire as my secretary.
Well, now, Justin, I think that he can. I mean, he's still head of the company.
You want to work for a little while longer around here until the doctor says that you ought to take a rest?
Well, yeah.
I'll take care of everything. Don't worry about it. Hello, Iris. This is Justin.
Justin, I was just about to call you.
Iris, there's something I think you should know about. Ryan fired Ashley this morning.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. Ashley's better off working for someone else anyway.
The problem is he doesn't want her working in the company.
I don't care what he wants. If Ashley is interested in staying on, I'll see to it that she has a job.
Well, I'd like Ashley to work for me, Iris.
Well, that's splendid. Go ahead and make the arrangements.
I will.
Did Ryan upset Ashley? Oh, the poor darling. Well, I'll come down there and talk to her. Perhaps I can help. I'll be there shortly. Bye-bye. Oh, I'm going to the World Oil Building.
Don't go there.
Here we are. Well, if it isn't Mr. Big Shot and his Big Shot manager.
How you doing, Nita? Hey, is it too late for Mr. Big Shot and his agent to get a little breakfast?
No, I don't think so. I'll go ask Robert. What do you have?
I think I'm going to have the works. I want bacon, eggs, tomatoes, a little toast, some coffee, juice, and some cereal on the side. How's that?
Okay. Ruby?
Orange juice and 2 aspirin.
See what I can do. Hey, Maggie. Look who the cat just dragged in.
Oh. Is it my favorite singing star? Oh, honey, you were wonderful on TV. Then I've always been one of your biggest fans. You got some new ones, though. Those girls down at Bobby Sue's beauty parlor, you should have heard the things they were saying about you in here yesterday.
Really?
You had better not set foot near that place unless you want every stitch of clothes ripped off your body.
You know what? I think I'm just going to mosey on over there myself this afternoon.
Well, breakfast is on its way.
Oh, thanks, Nita. Say, how's the baby doing?
Oh, Billy Joe Jr. is upstairs sleeping his little heart out.
You know what? I'm going to go up and take a look at him. You want to come up and see him?
Sure.
Come on.
Great. So, I was worried about you and Ricky last night. We had all that champagne. Did you get home all right?
Well, I can't exactly say I got home, but I certainly got where I was going.
Ricky was so sweet, talking about driving out to the ranch and listening to the rain beating down on the roof.
Yeah, he's real sweet. I think it was one of the most restful nights' sleep I ever had. That is when we finally got to sleep.
Ruby, could you excuse me for a minute? I think one of the customers needs me.
Sure.
Who is it?
Oh, hello, David.
Well, what can I do for you?
I want you to get the hell out of my father's life.
You have no right to order me around, Grant.
You're right. I just wish you'd be a little more reasonable
Well,
about
your
that.
idea of being reasonable is to forget about Ryan Connor. Forget that Alex was murdered.
All right, you and Justin have made your accusations. Now, why don't you give Ryan a chance to prepare his defense?
You honestly believe that Ryan is innocent, don't you?
Well, I honestly believe that Justin framed him.
Where on earth did you get such an idea? Oh, never mind. I know. Ryan Connor. Well, you're wrong. Justin would never do such a thing.
Why not? He was slant drilling.
There was never any evidence to prove those allegations of Max's.
Well, of course not, because he destroyed that evidence.
That's what Max and Ryan said. That doesn't mean it's true.
Why not? You're prepared to believe anything, any accusation against Ryan without any proof.
It's an entirely different matter.
Oh, of course it is. You want him out of the company. Therefore, you'll do anything that will accomplish that.
You saw Mr. Johnson's statement.
Yes. Now I think that you owe Ryan the opportunity to confront Mr. Johnson and find out why he signed that statement.
He signed it because it's true. Ryan was embezzling funds from the company. Alex discovered the truth and Ryan killed him.
Iris, will you listen to me for just 1 minute? If you care anything about the company, don't jeopardize its reputation by interfering in the investigation that Ryan's going to make. On the other hand, if all you care about is revenge, then go ahead. Argue this thing publicly. Destroy the image. Destroy the morale. Destroy the trust that Alex spent 25 years making and maintaining.
So, when is your next appearance on the Phil Roberts show?
Well, I'm not sure yet. We haven't worked out all the details, but Ruby's going to go over to the TV studio this afternoon and pick up the contracts, and we'll take a look at them and see if everything's all right.
And you're going to have 2 shows a week?
That's right. 2 a week at $500 each, huh?
Oh, not bad for a beginner.
Well, I guess I have my little agent over there to thank for that. And you know what? I quit World Oil today. I'm going to quit it. I'm going over there right after I leave here and give them my notice.
You are finally going to make the jump.
That's right. It's time to sink or swim.
Are you scared?
Well, I guess I'm more excited than anything else, you know. For the first time in years, I'm really headed someplace.
Hey, Ricky, come here. There's a couple songs on the jukebox I think might be good for you.
I'll be right back.
Nita. Honey, what's wrong? Something bothering you?
No, nothing's bothering me.
You haven't hardly said a word since Ricky and I came down from upstairs.
I've been thinking about other things.
What things?
Well, Billy Joe, for one. You're right, Maggie. The way I'm acting now, I'm just leading Billy Joe on. So I'm going to the lawyer tomorrow, and I'm going to start divorce proceedings.
Honey, you needn't worry about being lonely. You got plenty of friends, you know that. And you got some people around that would like to be more than just friends.
Well, I better go take care of this order.
Nita, did it bother you for me to talk like that?
Well, if you're talking about Ricky, you're wrong.
Well, I don't think so, honey. Ricky has told me plenty of times how he feels.
Well, I guess he's changed his mind since he last talked to you.
Well, I don't think so.
Well, I do.
What?
Well, he hasn't said anything to me, but... Ruby...
What?
Ruby and Ricky slept together last night.
Oh, honey, no, Ruby's just his age. And
Maggie, Ruby as much as came out and told me so.
And that upsets you a lot?
Well, only that I'm not used to people talking openly about those kind of things. Yeah, I don't understand why Ruby would tell me something like that.
Is that all you came here to say? That you want me out of your father's life?
You said that you and Dad were just friends.
We were. We are.
Is that why you left this at the cabin the other night?
Where did you get this?
Where do you think I got it, Paige? Must have been very cozy there, just the two of you. Or so you thought.
What are you doing here?
No, Paige, I think the question is, what were you and Dad doing there?
The car broke down in the rain. We were staying at my family's cabin until we could get it started again.
Very convenient. You know, I'd love to know how you arranged that. And after such a charming little dinner dance. Marooned in a cabin on a rainy summer evening. Perfect touch to a romantic night.
You followed us there?
You may have fooled Dad, but I'm not that gullible, Paige. Remember, I know you very well.
I think...
How much did he pay you, Paige?
Would it help you to know that I've decided I'm not going to see Elliot again after today?
Paige, it would make me feel great if you'd just leave Houston.
Hello, Iris. Marina, come in. I stopped by your mother's several times.
Yes, she told me, thank you.
Whatever differences we may have, you know I share your grief over Max.
I know that.
You were so helpful to me after Alex died. I wish there were some way I could comfort you.
You can't help, Iris. By making Justin pay for killing my husband.
Rena,
He was slant drilling our oil, and as sure as I'm standing here, he killed Max.
Rena, Max was killed accidentally when he tried to blow up that oil well.
You don't have to tell me that my husband is dead. I know how he died, and I also know that Justin caused it.
That's not true.
Justin's really done a number on you, hasn't he?
He's been very helpful to me since Alex died.
He took advantage of your grief, Iris, because he wants to get control of World Oil. That's all he cares about. Money and power. He doesn't care about you or Alex or the company. Any company will do for Justin.
I simply cannot believe that.
You haven't wanted to believe it because your hatred for Ryan. But Ryan isn't your enemy. Justin is.
Justin has proof that Ryan has been embezzling funds from the company. All of his talk about wanting to carry out Alex's wishes and dreams. He only wanted to protect himself.
Alex knew Ryan better than anybody in the world, and he trusted him.
Ryan betrayed that trust.
Justin is framing Ryan in order to get control of the company. You better face up to that fact, and you better do it now.
Maggie, where's Nita?
Well, she started not feeling real good, so she went up to take a nap.
Well, I wanted to tell her goodbye.
Well, I'll tell her.
How about my Aunt Maggie? Gonna wish me luck before I go over there and turn in my badge and start my new career?
Sure, honey. Good luck.
Thank you. I'll see you over at the coop in about an hour, Ruby. We're gonna start making plans.
I'll be there.
Well, I guess I better be going too.
Just a minute, Ruby. I'd like to talk to you.
Sure.
Why did you come to Houston?
What?
Why did you move here?
Well, I came because I wanted to see if my big brother needed my help. Why?
Well, it seems like to me that your big brother is doing just fine. So I think you better head back to wherever it was you came from.
Is that right?
That's right. And I think you better leave Ricky alone.
Ricky's my client.
You can get other clients.
I don't want other clients.
What do you want from Ricky?
Why do I have to want anything?
Because your type always does.
And what type is that?
Trash. You are nothing but cheap trash. Does that make you feel good?
Nobody calls me that.
You listen to me, Ruby Wright. I'm on to you, and I want you to stop messing up my nephew's life.
Your nephew is a big boy, Maggie. Or haven't you noticed? A really big boy. He's old enough to take care of himself.
I know your kind. You are just using him, and you're going to throw him aside when you've finished.
Don't worry. It's going to be a long time before Ricky and me are through. I'm going to make a lot of money off of Ricky.
You can make money off somebody else.
Yeah, but somebody else might not be as good as Ricky, Maggie. He's good, Maggie. He is really good. I'd hate to lose that.
Glad you stopped by. I've been calling the suite all morning.
I was in the office.
But Alfredo said...
I know I told Alfredo that I wasn't taking any calls.
I think we have to talk this out, Paige.
I know. That's why I came here.
I'm sorry if I upset you last night.
Wasn't you? I was upset by my own feelings last night.
I don't think you should be upset about feelings if they're honest.
It's not right, Elliot.
Not right for whom? For you? For me? Or for Dennis?
Dennis is your son, and he's my husband.
Dennis and you and I are grown people. I think it is about time we acted like grown people. Dennis has asked you for a divorce. He's given every indication that his feelings for you are over.
No, they're not over. He just came by the office. He knows exactly what happened last night.
Nothing happened last night. What do you mean he knows what happened?
I really would rather not get into it. The point is, I told him I'm not going to see you anymore, and I meant it.
Iris! Iris, come back here and talk to me.
You're not talking. You're shouting. This isn't the first time you've come into my home and screamed at me.
I'm sorry. But what you're doing to Ryan Connor is wrong.
If he's innocent of Justin's charges, let him prove it.
And he will. But by that time, you will have destroyed his reputation and make it impossible for him to continue with the company. If there's a company left by the time Justin gets through with it.
Oh, that's quite an exaggeration, Rena, even from you.
Do you remember what happened last November? Ryan had a chance then to take over the company, but he didn't, Iris. Instead, he saved your husband's life. Oh, Iris. Honey, he loves that man as much as you do. He didn't want Alex to die. Money, power, those things don't mean that much to Ryan.
Oh, he pretended that until he found out he'd lose his power and a good deal of his money.
He didn't even want to work for World Oil. He only did it because Alex asked for his help.
And in the process, he found a way to make a fortune for himself.
Justin is framing him, and Ashley Linden is helping him.
Look, don't you get started on Ashley.
She is as vicious and devious as Justin is. Oh, Iris, you're not a stupid woman, you know that? Now, why can't you see what they're doing to you?
You're talking about my friends, Rena. They care about me and they cared about Alex.
Maybe Ashley is your friend. But Justin, not a chance. He's using you, Iris. And as soon as he gets what he wants, he'll walk out on you and never look back.
Well, I can understand your bitterness toward Justin. After all, you did love him, and he did decline to marry you.
You know that's not true. You know how much I love Max. Getting involved with Justin was the biggest mistake of my life. Caring about you was my second mistake. You're so hell-bent on proving that you're right, you don't even care that you're destroying a man.
If I'm wrong about Ryan, I'll admit it.
It'll be too late, Iris. It'll be too late for Ryan, for Ginny. But worst of all, it'll be too late for you.
I don't think you should make any decisions until you've thought things out.
I have thought it out. I just think it's better off for everybody if we don't see each other again.
But that is impossible. First of all, I go to the Top of the World Club all the time, for business as well as pleasure, from a purely practical standpoint.
Well, then maybe I should just quit my job at the Top of the World Club.
I won't allow that.
Well, you don't have anything to say about it.
I want to know exactly what Dennis said.
It doesn't matter, Ellie.
It does matter. Dennis is suffering from deep-seated psychological problems at the moment. He is not behaving
And
well.
I'm the cause of those problems,
That is just
Elliot.
not true.
Well, at any rate, I think my decision will go a long way in helping him.
Only a professional can help Dennis. You have to see that. Paige, I haven't felt this way about anyone in a long time. And I am not going to give it up without a fight.
I've done so many things in my life, Elliot, that I'm not proud of. I'm not going to add this to the list.
Paige.
Now, I would prefer it if you didn't call me or try to get in touch with me again.
I am not going to promise that.
Oh, Ruby, you got a nice place here.
Well, thanks, Tom.
You know what I'd like to do? I'd like to get the band out and do a sound check and run through a couple of tunes and just for tempos and things.
Sure, most of the guys are out back. We can round them up and have a little rehearsal.
before the place gets too crowded.
Hey there, manager. What's up?
Well, I expect that business will be up. At least it will be when the crowd finds out who we got doing a guest shot at the Coop tonight. Tom, this is my client, Ricky Decker. Ricky, I'd like you to meet an old friend of mine from Nashville, Mr. Tom T. Hall.
Not the Nashville storyteller.
Well, you must be Elaine Decker's brother, right?
That's right. Ricky here taught Elena how to sing.
Well, I don't think I'd let Elena hear you say that, girl.
Hey, Ricky, I'm glad to meet you. Ruby's been telling me some nice things about you, really.
Well, she's my manager. That's what she's supposed to be doing. You know, I'm the one who's thrilled. I've been playing that album of yours, Places I've Done Time, so many darn times I think I've practically worn out all the grooves.
Hey, listen, you've got great taste in music. Hey, if you guys will excuse me, I want to get the band together and we'll do a little picking. Okay?
Sure. We can run down that material whenever you're ready, Tom.
Great, thank you.
Well, Ruby, you're pulling out all the big guns there. I knew you went to Nashville, but I didn't know you had any friends like Tom T. Hall.
Well, now, Mr. Decker, there's a lot of things about me that you don't know.
That's probably true.
Of course, if you're, willing to learn.
Hey, aren't you going to ask me how things went over at the top of the world?
Oh, yeah, what happened? Did you, quit your job in the security force at World Oil?
Yep. I'm a free man.
Terrific.
Well, it'll be terrific if you come through with all those bookings you've been promising me.
Don't you worry about that. Now that you're free and you can devote full time to your career, the sky is the limit.
Yeah, speaking of my career, Ruby, there's something I've been meaning to talk to you about.
Sure, what's up?
Well, the more I think about it, the more I think maybe it'd be better if I don't sing here at the Coop anymore.
Shouldn't you be in town with Ryan?
Ryan's still at the office.
Well, there might be trouble if Justin is there, too.
I don't think there's any need to worry, Kate. Ryan's calmed down a lot since last night.
I hope so. Has he been able to find anything to prove that he wasn't involved in that embezzlement scheme?
Not yet. He and the head of the accounting department spent the afternoon together going over the files. They haven't found anything at all.
Well, what about this nonsense that he killed Alex Wheeler?
He has to prove that he wasn't embezzling funds from World Oil. And then he thinks maybe he can talk Iris into believing he didn't kill Alex.
Do you think he can prove it?
I don't know.
I didn't think even Justin was capable of such despicable action.
Justin wants control of World Oil. If it means framing Ryan, he doesn't care.
Hi, Jenny.
Oh, Eileen, how you doing?
Miss Kate, I heard something at the store.
What did you hear?
That you're taking Justin to court.
That's right.
Does that mean that Justin can't drill for oil out here on the ranch?
Not until after the question of the mineral rights is settled. Hopefully, that may take several years.
So that means he won't be around here very much. Maybe he'll even move back into town if he can't drill for oil.
Hi, Grandma. Ladies, Ashley and I have come for supper. We wanted to tell you we're getting married next week.
Something wrong?
Oh, I just didn't hear you come up.
You're looking terrible, Paige. Must be your social life. You know, you really ought to get more rest.
Have you come here for dinner?
Among other things.
Oh, yes, Carrington. Reservation for two.
That's right.
I only see one then.
Well, my guest is waiting over there at the bar. She seems to have beaten me here. Oh, you must be wondering who she is. No. Well, you see, I only met her today. KVIK is doing a segment on fashion photography. She's, one of the models I met at the studio. Very pretty, don't you think?
Yes, very. I'll have your table ready for you in a couple of minutes.
Hey, there's no rush.
Why don't you just go wait at the bar then?
Oh, listen, if it's all the same to you, I think I'd just as soon wait right here.
I think we ought to branch out, Ruby. Look, I know the Coop is a great little place if all you're into is country music. But I don't want to limit myself like that. I think there's other stuff that I sing better.
And that's fine. I'm all for crossing over. There's a lot of money to be made in the pop field. And I think a singer is a fool if you don't diversify. But you got time. First, you got to build yourself up. You got to establish your reputation. Once you do that, you can sing anything you want.
Yeah, but why wait?
Because it don't make any sense to risk everything just
Look,
to...
I just don't want to get pigeonholed, you know? People in this business tend to put a label on you. And once they decide you sing country western music, that's it.
Well, that's true a little bit, but you got to look at it in the right perspective. You're just starting. I think the Coop can offer you a lot, Ricky.
Like what?
Well, like your sister Elena and that hit record of hers.
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem right there. You know, everybody associates the Coop with Elena. Now, that's fine for her, but it's not so fine for me.
Why not?
Because I'm working in Elena's shadow. Look, for the last 20 years, I have been Max Decker's little brother. As much as I love Max, I think it's high time I start being me, Ricky Decker.
But that's exactly who you are and who you're gonna be.
Not as long as I keep working here at the Coop. Now, if I stay here at the Coop, I'm always going to be Elena Decker's brother. And I don't want that. I grew up out at the Marshall Ranch. I've known Paige Carrington all my life. I think maybe I should go talk to her and see if I can get her to hire me to sing over at the Top of the World Club.
I think that is a terrible idea.
Why?
Because Billy Joe already talked to Paige about having Elena sing there, and she turned him down.
That's because Elena is a country western singer. That's the point I'm trying to get through to you, Ruby. Look, Elena is trapped by the kind of music that she's singing. I don't want to fall into that same trap. And I think that's what's going to happen if I don't start singing some other things that I do better. Well, what are you laughing at?
You. Look at you. 2 days ago, you didn't want anything to do with a singing career, and now you're not only telling me you want it, you're telling me how to manage it.
It's like I told you before, Ruby. If I'm going to get into this, I'm going to go for it all the way.
Yeah. That's exactly how we're going to do it, Ricky. All the way. If it's going to make you any happier, I'll go right over to the Top of the World Club right now, and I'll have a little talk with Paige.
Well, I don't think you need to do that now. Why don't I just go over there and talk to her myself tomorrow?
We got to get this straight. You can have all the ideas you want, but I'm the one that's going to do the dirty work. It's what a manager's for. And besides, I think it should be put to Paige in the right way.
Ruby, I've got this bunch of outlaws together now. Is it all right if we use the bandstand?
Sure, you might as well run down that stuff right now before the crowd gets any bigger.
Thank you very much.
Jenny, if you want to go back to town, I'll understand.
It's all right. I just have to stay out of Justin's way. I'm sure that he and Ashley will be leaving after supper anyway.
I thought the family would greet my marriage plans with a little more enthusiasm.
Well, to be honest with you, Justin, I was hoping you'd pack up your things and move back into town.
Grandma, this ranch is my home. It's my heritage, just like it was my daddy's. I'm going to live here. I'm going to make the Marshall name the first family name in this state, the way it was meant to be.
Justin, you don't care anything for the Marshall name. You've already tarnished it by your association with Bubba Wadsworth, and you'll destroy it with your efforts to railroad Ryan Connor out of World Oil.
Your lucky streak is over, Justin. Kate outsmarted you with those mineral rights to the ranch, and Ryan's going to prove his innocence. You might as well get out of town right now.
Jenny, you plan on standing by your man the whole time he's in jail?
You're the one that should be in jail, Justin, for slant drilling, for causing Max's death, for framing Ryan.
Has Ryan talked to our missing accountant yet?
What did you do with Mr. Johnson? Send him to Brazil?
Well, the last time I talked to him, he was outside of Houston, over in Conroe. Yeah.
Well, Ryan's going to find him and persuade him to tell the truth.
Oh, I wouldn't bet on that, Jenny. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't bet on a lot of things, like getting married anytime soon. First, Ryan is going to lose his job, then he's going to lose his freedom. What's the point?
Is Ashley pregnant?
Why would you think that?
Because I know the way you feel about Rena. She's a widow now, and it's the only reason I can think of that you'd ever marry Ashley.
Would it ever occur to you that I just may love Ashley?
No, it wouldn't. I don't think you're capable of loving anyone, Justin. If you were, you never would have taken control of the ranch away from Kate, or stolen oil from the Decker property, or allowed Max to die.
You forgot about framing Ryan. Didn't add that to your little laundry list.
Or framing Ryan.
You know, Iris believes that Ryan is guilty.
Yes. And Grant Wheeler believes he's innocent.
Yes, Grant Wheeler doesn't own a third of World Oil.
No. But I'd bet my money on Grant Wheeler. He's a lot smarter than you are, Justin. And just as tenacious as Iris. If I were you, I'd be very worried. Because with Grant supporting Ryan, you don't stand a chance.
Sorry to keep you waiting, Joanne.
It's all right. This is a super place.
My wife tells me that our table should be ready in just a few minutes.
Oh, I'm in no hurry.
I'll be right back.
Sure. Henry, table 5, please.
I'm back.
Yes, I see. Dennis, don't you think it's a little rude to keep your guest waiting at the bar all by herself?
Joanne?
Yes.
Oh, Joanne's all right. She makes friends very easily. Besides, you and I have a lot to talk about.
No, I don't think we do.
Oh, yes, Paige. For example, I'd love to know when you plan on leaving Houston.
I don't have any plans for leaving Houston, Dennis.
Well, no, that's too bad. I was hoping that we could handle this without any mess.
Look, I've already told you. I told Elliot I'm not seeing him again. Isn't that enough?
No. But it's a start.
Dennis, what do you want from me?
I'm not sure, Paige. You know, I've asked myself that question over and over again. And I'm just not sure.
Okay, darling, if you really want to sing at the top of the World Club, I'll just go over there tonight and have a little talk with Paige.
Well, there's not that much of a rush.
Well, there's no reason to put it off. I'll just hang out here for a little while, make sure Tom's got everything he needs, and then I'll
Ruby,
take off.
you're a nice lady. I'm ready anytime you are.
Anytime.
You guys know a red hot memory?
Red hot memory, ice cold beer. Boy, that jukebox sounds so good to my ear. That's the reason I came in here. Red hot memory, ice cold beer. I can't believe how she burned me down. Her love made me a big man in this town. And now she tells me I'm no crowd. Hey, I just came in here to drink me down the side. Red hot memory, nice cold beer. Lord, that jukebox sounds so good to my ear. Ricky, that's the reason I came in here. I got a red hot memory, nice cold beer. Good, Jack. He took her body, one suitcase, and said she'd had as much of me as she could take. And that whole airport, overground. Just to know that something that good leaving town. Red hot memories, nice cold bed. Lord, that jukebox sounds so good to my ear. And that's the reason I came in here. Red hot memories, ice cold beer.
Hello, Mrs. Carrington.
If you were looking for Mr. Parnell, I'm sorry he's not here.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't come here to see Mr. Parnell. Actually, I came here to see you.
Oh. Well, what about?
Well, I'd heard a lot about your place here. It's real nice.
Thank you.
Mrs. Carrington, I don't know if you know this or not, but I manage Ricky Decker's singing career.
Oh, yes, I think Mr. Parnell did mention something about that to me. Didn't Billy Joe say something about your plans for Ricky the last time I was at the coop?
Mm-hmm. Well, my plans are coming along real nicely.
Oh, I'm glad.
Ricky's just been singing a little while, and already he's on his way to becoming a big TV star. He's got himself a big contract on the Phil Roberts show.
The afternoon talk show?
That's the one. Those studio people are real hot on Ricky's talent.
Well, that sounds like an excellent opportunity for him.
Oh, it is. And for Billy Joe, too.
For Billy Joe?
Mm-hmm. Well, Ricky was nice enough to sort of talk Phil Roberts into giving Billy Joe his own little segment of the show.
I didn't realize Billy Joe was an entertainer.
Oh, he's not really. He just sort of stands up there and talks to people.
Well, certainly have to make a point of watching it one afternoon. I used to think that show had quite a following.
Well, right now the ratings are down a little, but I think that's why they hired Ricky. Ricky's going to do a lot for that show. The very first time he sang there, the studio switchboard just lit up like a Christmas tree.
Well, it sounds like things are going very well for you, Ricky.
Oh, yeah, they are. And Ricky and I were sort of thinking that it's about time that he branch out, started singing up something other than country western tunes.
Oh, I see. And you think that I might give him the chance to do that here at the top of the world?
Hey, Elena, what's up? You've been prowling around here all morning like a cat. Something's eating you.
Is that obvious?
Yeah, it is that obvious. In fact, you're about the most obvious person I know. Come here. What's up?
I've been thinking.
Yeah? What have you been thinking about?
About us? About what a terrible life you have to live because of me?
Oh, now, wait a minute. Who said living with you was so terrible,
Come on. You know what I mean. It's my fault that you have to live like this, cooped up in the house all day. You're afraid to go out unless you have that stupid disguise on, and even then you're taking a risk of being caught.
Well, I don't mind. I just figure, it's not your fault. You're not the one who broke the law.
Yeah, but I'm the one that's keeping you in Houston.
Well, I just figure that's the way it's got to be.
You need a plan, Joe.
Yeah, I know, but every time I get a plan, you veto it. Now, Elena, I'm not going to leave without you. And if you don't want to go, well, nothing I can do about it.
Well, you see, that's what I've been thinking about, Joe. I've been thinking about us going away. I think I'm almost ready now.
Since when?
Well, since Billy Joe told me he wasn't going to manage me anymore.
What do you mean, you're just going to give up your career?
I don't really think I have very much of a career anymore. Not without Billy Joe. And if I don't have a career, then I guess I really don't have any reason for staying here, now do I?
Are you serious?
But, Joe, there's one thing that we got to do before we go.
What's that?
I want you to give that money back.
Mrs. Marshall, I would like to have a little talk with you.
All right.
I know that you don't like me.
I don't dislike you. I think you're an attractive, intelligent young woman. And I can't understand how you can let yourself be involved with someone like Justin.
He's your grandson.
Well, it doesn't mean I have to like him or approve of his behavior.
He's ambitious. You know, his ancestors must have been ambitious too, otherwise they wouldn't have this success.
Well, I don't have anything against ambition. It's dishonesty that I disapprove of. And if you're so in love with him that you don't know the difference, then there's nothing that I can do or say to help you.
Mrs. Marshall, I would like to have some sort of a truce with you. I mean, we're going to be living under the same roof. Let's try to make it as pleasant as possible.
Why have you and Justin decided to be married so quickly?
Well, it's not really that quickly. I mean, we've been talking about it for several months. I've had my engagement ring for quite a while.
But wouldn't your parents prefer a formal wedding?
Well, I suppose that they might. But in the end, it's what Justin wants that counts.
I'm surprised that Justin is so eager to rush into marriage.
He wants to have children right away.
Oh, yes. That business about building a Texas dynasty, the one his father should have had.
That's very important to Justin.
It's important to me, too. But Justin is going about it in the wrong way. No matter what else people could have said about Justin's father, one thing they could know for sure was that he was an honest man. That's always been most important to the Marshalls. More important than money or land or power.
Justin just wants it all.
I know. That's what I'm afraid of. And he's going to end up with nothing.
I don't believe that. I have more faith in him than that.
Well, I just hope, Ashley, he doesn't betray that faith. But I'm afraid he will.
Well, that just means that it's up to me to make sure that he doesn't.
Why don't you sit down, Ruby? Thanks. You do have performers here from time to time, don't you?
Yes, occasionally.
Well, your business looks like it's doing all right, but I got the feeling it could be doing a whole lot better.
Well, it's always a little slow at the end of the summer, but it'll pick up after Labor Day.
Well, I think it might pick up a lot faster if you had a nice, fresh new face and here entertaining people.
Might. You're a real mover, aren't you, Ruby?
Pardon?
Oh, nothing. You just remind me of someone I used to know.
Who's that?
Oh, a friend. Someone who went to Hollywood to try to make it in the movies.
No one I know?
No, I don't think so. At any rate, your idea about Ricky is very interesting.
Then you'll give him a try?
You know, Ruby, I like your brother a lot. As a matter of fact, he used to work for me here.
Yeah, he told me that.
We didn't always get along, but in the end, we ended up with sort of a mutual respect for each other.
Yeah, well, Billy Joe's okay.
Yeah, he can be a good friend.
Oh, yeah, he can.
Well, anyway, he came to me about a month or so ago and asked me if ELENA could sing here.
But you said no.
That's right. I didn't think it was a very good idea. People who come here have a different kind of taste in music, and I just didn't think it would work out.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
But I felt very badly about saying no to Billy Joe, so I think that's why I'm going to give you and Ricky a chance.
Then you mean we got a deal?
Well, we'll give it a try.
Oh, that's great.
I think, actually, I'm doing it more for Billy Joe than anybody.
Well, how many weeks are we talking about?
Well, why don't you, call me tomorrow or the next day and we'll work out the details, all right?
Okay. You're making a real smart move here, Mrs. Carrington.
Well, I hope so. Oh, Ruby, what are you and Billy Joe going to do about the singer at the Coop now if Ricky's working here?
Oh, well, I already have somebody else in mind for that. Matter of fact, I think I'll pay that person a visit right now.
Are you crazy, Elena?
Joe, I thought it out, and it's the only way.
Look, after all we've gone through, I am not going to give up that money.
You have to.
Why? Give me one good reason why.
Because it's drug money.
So what? I wasn't dealing the drugs. Your friend Bernie did that.
Joe, it doesn't matter who sold the drugs. What matters is that I know where that money came from. And I also know what's happened to everyone who's tried to hold on to it.
Don't be silly.
I'm not being silly. Something terrible has happened to everyone who's tried to keep that money, Joe. Look, I love you. I don't want anything to happen to you.
Nothing's going to happen to me.
Yes, it will, unless you give that money back. It's evil. It's bad money.
Elena, no money is bad money.
Joe, all you gotta do is give it to somebody.
Elena, no. I've been waiting for a break like this all my life. I'm not going to let you talk me out of it now.
It's wrong, Joe.
Elena, don't tell me what's wrong. You want to know about wrong? You go on down to San Diego. You check out the shack where my family lives, with cockroaches and 4 kids sleeping in a double bed. You try living on rice and beans for weeks and weeks and weeks. Then you talk to me about wrong.
I'm not saying it's wrong to have money. I'm just saying it's wrong to have this money.
Well, I'm sorry, but it's the only money I got.
Joe, please.
Look, Elena, it was bad enough that I let you talk me into turning in that confession to clear Dennis Carrington.
But you felt better after you did that.
Oh, yeah. My conscience is in great shape. But a clear conscience isn't something a guy like me can afford right now. I mean, we're just damn lucky the cops haven't found me and put me away.
Joe, I'll help you.
With what? That money is all we've got to get out of here with.
Well, then I'll get money.
How? How are you going to get your hands on close to $1 million?
We don't need $1 million. Whatever we do need, I'll find. I'll find it one way or another.
Did Jeff say anything to Miss Kate about getting Courtney to marry him?
Not yet. I think he's still working on it.
He won't give up this time. I'm sure of that.
When do you go back to Denton?
I'm not going back to college.
Why not?
I don't have any money. Had to use up all my savings to pay off my grandfather's debts.
Oh, honey, you were getting such good grades. Can't you apply for a scholarship loan or something?
Well, yeah, but it's too late to do it this semester.
Then I'll loan you the money.
No. Miss Kate already offered and I wouldn't accept it.
There's nothing wrong in a student loan.
I know, but I couldn't live with an obligation like that.
Oh, Lurleen.
No, I'll get a job and save some money, and I'll go back next year.
When I was at college, a lot of kids planned to do that, except they never went back.
They weren't as determined as I am to get a college degree.
Kate told me about your grandfather's debts.
Miss Kate and Hardley over at the sheriff's office have been so helpful. It's almost straightened out now.
Did your grandfather realize all the problems he's caused?
I doubt it. He's in jail right now, sleeping off a drunk.
I'm sorry, honey.
At least I know he's safe. Until he sobers up and they let him out.
Will you do me a favor and promise me that you'll stay here with Kate so I know that you're safe?
I'll be all right, Jenny. Really, I will. Joe, look, I'll borrow the money that we need.
Where are you going to... Where are you going to find anyone to lend you that kind of money?
Well, I've got good credit.
She don't have any collateral.
Well, I'll get some collateral.
Elena, you're not being real practical about this.
Well, maybe I could talk to Aunt Maggie about it. She knows a lot about banks and things. How much money do you think we need?
At least $50,000.
$50,000? Why do we need that much money?
Well, because we can't do things the ordinary way. We got to get me out of the country, and we got to do it secretly.
Well, where do you want to go?
Well, it looks like South America's the safest place. Then we're going to need money to live on until we can learn the language and find jobs.
Well, even so, we don't need $50,000. $10,000 will be plenty.
No, it isn't. No, I don't even know why I'm discussing this whole thing.
Because you love me.
Yeah, I do love you. But giving back that money is a crazy idea.
No, it's not crazy. Money is evil.
Elena.
Look, Joe, I'll find the money that we need. And when I do, you could turn in that drug money, and then I promise we'll leave here.
2 guesses on who that is.
It can't be Ruby.
Want to bet?
Who is it? Elena? It's Ruby. Joe.
I know. I'm going.
Oh, it looks like things are slowing up a little bit, Henry. Would you tell Alfredo that I'll be in my office if he needs me? All right, thank you.
Hello, Paige. You have time for a drink?
No, I don't think so.
You leaving?
No, I have to go to my office. I have some orders to take out.
Well, maybe I could have a drink in your office while you finish your paperwork.
No, I don't think that's a good idea.
In that case, I think I'll wait right here at the bar until you're through.
Elliot, why are you doing this? I already told you I didn't want to see you again.
I never said I didn't want to see you. In fact, I thought I made it clear that quite the opposite is true. I want to see you very much.
Elliot, don't, please. I've had about as much pressure on me as I can take today.
Paige, I don't want to put any pressure on you. No, that's not true. I do want to pressure you. Because you're very important to me. And I don't want to lose you.
Dennis is here tonight.
Fine. Fine, I think the 3 of us should sit down like civilized people and talk this whole thing out once and for all.
I don't think that's a possibility, Elliot.
I'm still willing to try.
Elliot, Dennis isn't capable of talking about this situation.
Coming out here tonight was a big mistake.
No, it wasn't. We're going to live here, Ashley. Grandma better get used to it.
Justin, why don't you just sell the ranch back to your grandmother? Let us buy a house out at River Oaks.
I bought control of this ranch, Ashley, because there's oil here. Barrels and barrels of oil, and I want it. I don't like being tricked into spending time and energy and money and getting nothing.
You don't need this land to become a millionaire. You've got all these other oil projects. They're going to do it for you.
These are my roots, Ashley. I'm staying right here. I'll fight my grandmother until hell freezes over. Till I get that oil out of this ground, one way or the other.
Where have you been? Oh, walked down to the stable just to check on things.
Is everything all right?
Yes. Oh, I appreciate y'all cleaning up.
Did you happen to see my riding boots when we were down at the stable?
I didn't notice.
Well, the heel needs fixing, so I better go down there and see if I can find them. I thought I'd take them into town tomorrow with me.
You want to spend the night?
Yes, unless Justin and Ashley decide to.
They won't.
Okay, I'll be back shortly. She's
quite a girl, isn't she?
She sure is. I think Ashley's kind of nice.
Misguided, but nice. Did you bring along those papers that Harley gave you? We could go over them this evening.
I left them at the house.
There'll be plenty of time tomorrow.
Are you going to bed now?
Oh, good heavens, no.
Why, just jump in the truck, drive over to the house, and bring the papers back. I'll sleep a lot better if I know where I stand financially.
Would you like me to go along with you?
No. I'll drive a lot faster if you're not along.
Now, you be careful. I'll wait for you.
I'll be right back. Elena, honey, I'm so sorry to bother you like this in the middle of the night.
Ruby, what do you want?
Can I come in?
No, you can't.
I just want to talk to you about something. It'll only take a minute. Well, I don't really think it can even take that long, Ruby, because I'm not real interested in anything you have to say.
Don't be too sure. I want to talk to you about making it up with Billy Joe and coming on back to sing at the coop.
You have some nerve showing your face around here again after the little stunt you pulled the last time.
What little stunt?
Oh, right from the start, you planned the whole thing to keep me off the Phil Roberts show, didn't you? You wanted to do everything you could to make sure that Ricky would be the only one on the air that day.
Well, now, Elena, honey, if that were true, why would I be standing here right now begging you to come back?
Well, I don't really know that, Ruby. But I'm sure you've got a reason.
You know, Elena, I get a feeling that you really are mad at me about something, and I don't know what it is. Now, how do you figure that I kept you from going to the Phil Roberts show?
By showing up here. Telling me that your TV didn't work.
Well, that's true. It didn't work, but how did that stop you from going down to KVIK?
Look, Ruby, I don't want to stand here and discuss this with you. Okay, why don't you just get out of here?
I'll be happy to get out just as soon as I get what I came for.
I am not going to sing at the coop. First of all, Billy Joe doesn't even want me there.
I'll take care of Billy Joe.
Why is all of this so important to you, Ruby?
Well, because I just booked Ricky to sing at the Top of the World Club, and he can't start till I get someone to fill in for him at the coop.
Oh. Well, that is all the more reason why I shouldn't do it. I wouldn't give you the satisfaction.
You know, Elena, you're talking awful high and mighty, considering how much you got to lose.
Ruby, why don't you just get out of here? There's nothing more you could do to hurt me.
Now, that's where you're wrong.
Where are you going? Get out of there!
Now then, shall we talk business?
Where's the young lady you were with?
In a cab on our way home. But don't worry, she'll be just fine.
Would you like a drink?
No. I would like to talk to my father. Alone.
Dennis, this concerns the three of us. If we're going to discuss it, I think we should all be here.
In that case, then I better just leave and talk to you some other time.
Dennis.
Never mind. I'll be at the reservation desk if you need me.
What's going on, Dennis?
That's exactly what I'd like to know.
I've never seen you act like this before.
Angry?
Oh, Dennis. The scene you caused here at the Top of the World Club and bringing Jack Brent here to embarrass Paige, acts like that go way beyond being angry.
I was lied to.
Sometimes think it's about time that you forgave Paige.
I'm not talking about Paige. I'm talking about you. My own father. You lied to me. You said that you and Paige were just friends.
I didn't lie to you, Dennis, any more than I lied to myself. You have to believe that.
No. I trusted you.
Well, I want you to trust me, and I want to help you. But I can't do that unless you tell me what it is that has you so upset.
You lied to me. You lied to me!
Dennis.
You said you were just friends!
You asked Paige for a divorce. Now, if you still love her, I need to know.
You lied to me, Dad. Paige made you do this.
Dennis.
That's it. Paige made you lie. She made you lie to me. She made you do it, Dad. She made you lie to me.
She made you do it. It's Paige.
Justin, I made a kind of peace with your grandmother tonight. Please don't mess that up for me.
I'm not going to.
You will if you stay angry like this.
Doesn't it upset you that my grandmother made a fool out of me?
She didn't make a fool out of you, Justin. She just got lucky. I mean, Stryker Bellman's the one that outsmarted you when he came up with the original deed to the ranch.
We get into court with this. I'm going to win. Before I'm finished, I'll outsmart all of them. Ryan Connor, Grant Wheeler, Stryker Bellman, and especially my dear grandmother.
Justin and Ashley still here, Kate?
Yes, but they're getting ready to leave.
Good. Is ELENA watching television?
No, she just drove up to her place to pick up some papers that Harley gave her this afternoon.
She went all by herself?
Yes, but she'll be back shortly. She drives even faster than you.
Hello, Orlean. Just struggle all you want. Nobody's gonna hear you.
Yes, that will be fine, baby. Thank you.
I gather you're going to be dining without Mr. Wheeler tonight.
Yes, there will just be the two of us.
Dinner will be ready in about 15 minutes, if that's all right, Miss Wheeler.
Oh, good. I'm starved.
Going riding tonight?
No, I'm going to the coop.
I just booked Ricky at the Top of the World Club. Only he can't do it till I get somebody to take his place at the coop. Well, then that's all the more reason why I shouldn't do it. I wouldn't give you the satisfaction. You're talking awful high and mighty, ELENA, considering how much you've got to lose.
Ruby, why don't you just get out of here? There's nothing more that you can do to hurt me.
Now that's where you're wrong.
Where are you going? Get out of there!
Now then, shall we talk business?
He's the window washer. He's washing the windows. You see, I've been after my superintendent for over a month now to have my windows washed, and this is the only time I could get someone to come over.
Well, your window washer looks an awful lot like Joe Foster.
Joe Foster? What, are you crazy? Why would Joe Foster be here?
Good question.
Would you like a glass of wine, Ashley?
No, nothing, thank you.
No, it's all right, Jenny. I wouldn't care for a glass either. Thank you.
Leaving now?
Pretty soon. I promised Iris we'd stop by for a brandy.
Oh, so you can figure out some more ways to frame Ryan, no doubt.
All right, that's enough.
Now, Justin, I just wonder if you've told Iris that you can't deliver on your promise to triple World Oil's production by drilling out here.
No, I haven't yet.
It should inspire a lot of confidence in you.
Grandma, did you know about the original deed before I started trying to buy control of the ranch?
No. I didn't remember that the mineral rights were protected in a separate contract.
If you had known, would you have told me?
Of course I would. You've torn this family apart in your attempts to take control of this ranch.
That's not true, Grandma. Barrett was already a little unbalanced. Dawn was only interested in living in Paris, painting. Paige has only been concerned with herself. You can't blame that on me.
Justin, you took advantage of their weaknesses for your own gain.
Some gain, right, Justin? Since you can't drill out here, why don't you just sell your shares of the ranch to Kate?
Not a chance.
Where's Lorraine? I wanted to say goodnight to her.
Well, she's gone to her grandfather's to pick up some papers.
She should have been home by now.
Stop fighting me, you little wildcat. I mean, nobody's going to hear you yelling.
Now, you settle down.
That's a girl. You just settle down.
What do you want, Bubba?
I just want us to be friends.
We are friends.
Well, you don't act very friendly to me, sugar. Every time I smile at you, you frown. Or when I touch you friendly like, you turn away. Why do you do that, huh? I don't think you like me, Lorraine.
I've always been afraid of you, Bubba.
Afraid of me? Why, shoot, no reason for you to be scared of me. I'm just a little country boy who likes to have a good time with pretty girls.
I'm not pretty, Bubba. Not like those girls over at the Dewdrop Inn. I've seen them, and they're really something. And I know they're just crazy about you.
Yeah, well, they kind of carry on when they see.
They even allow Vivian to go to the coop. It's a dreadful place.
It's not a dreadful place.
A man was murdered there.
Yes, I know. But the place has changed a lot now. It's a nice crowd.
How do you know that?
Because I've been there.
Oh, Lacey, those aren't the kind of people with whom you should be socializing.
Why not?
Well, they're not suitable for a girl of your background and upbringing.
Aunt Iris, they're nice kids. So what if their background is different? That's what makes them interesting.
What on earth could be interesting about drugstore cowboys? You have nothing in common with those people.
Yes, I do. I like the music. Ricky Decker sings there. It's very good. He's a nice guy. He worked at World Oil for Uncle Alex. Rena was married to his brother, so you know it's a nice family.
Nice, but poor.
I know a lot of really rich people who are creeps.
Darling, I realize that your generation is somewhat more liberal than mine, but there are standards.
So what you're saying is that rich kids mix with rich kids and poor kids mix with poor kids.
Perhaps you should spend some time at the country club.
I want to have fun. The coop is fun. It's as simple as that.
No wonder you're having trouble with your father.
That has nothing to do with the coop.
Ruby, what do you want?
Like I said, I want you to come back and sing at the coop.
She's not going back there.
That would be very unwise on her part.
Well, look, if you think you're going to turn me in, you might as well forget about it.
I have no intention of turning you in, as long as you and Elena cooperate. All I care about is my client's career. If Elena comes back and sings at the coop, no one has to know that Joe Foster is here. Think about it. I'll be at the coop when you come by with your decision.
Heard old man Harper's back in jail for drunken and disorderly conduct.
That's right.
Is the cleanup operation at the Harper place finished?
Sure. Looks better than before the well explosion. First time I've ever seen a landscaped dirt farm. It's true. Ever since I can remember, old man Harper's front lawn has looked like, well, an acre of dirt. Now it looks like one of those beautiful lawns out in River Oaks. Just seen this ramshackle old house surrounded by beautiful trees and shrubs. It's a sight to see.
Maybe we'd better call Lurleen and see if she's all right.
Mrs. Marshall, why are you so worried?
I'm worried because she drives too fast.
Oh, Grandma?
Now she's going to turn that truck over one of these days.
She's been driving pickup trucks for 12 years. She's a better driver than I am.
Speaking of driving, don't you think it's about time we went back to town?
Grandma, are the family photograph albums, are they in the study?
Well, some of them are. The others in the attic.
Well, what about the ones with the pictures of Granddad and Great-Granddad? I want to show them to Ashley.
They're in the study.
Well, I can't find them.
Jenny, I had a talk with Mrs. Marshall earlier tonight. If we're all going to be living under this roof, I'd like for it to be pleasant for everyone, including you. You betrayed Ryan, so don't expect me to be pleasant to you, Ashley. I didn't betray him, Jenny.
You and the head of the accounting department were the only ones besides Ryan, who knew about Mr. Johnson and the missing work file?
Well, I do have some loyalty to the company.
Oh, come on. You don't care about that company. Your only loyalty is to Justin. The least you can do is be honest about that.
Well, if Ryan is innocent...
You know damn well that Ryan's innocent. You read every paper that goes across his desk. You put money in the bank for him. You talk to his stockbroker. You know just as much about him as I do. Maybe more. If Ryan were guilty of embezzling funds from World Oil, you would have told Justin and Iris about it a long time ago.
Suppose I was trying to protect him.
But you weren't. You saw a chance to help Justin, and you took it at Ryan's expense. You're no better than Bubba Wadsworth.
You think you're pretty clever, don't you, huh? Flattering me, huh? Making me think you're interested.
You ought to go find someone of your own kind, Bubba.
What is my own kind? Those tired barflies down to the Dewdrop Inn, what makes you think you're any better than them?
I don't think I'm any better. I just think they're pretty and more interesting than I am.
Yeah, since you've been hanging around with the Marshalls and Rena Decker, you've been getting some mighty funny ideas. Thinking that you just high and mighty.
I don't think that, Bubba.
Well, you ain't nothing like those people. You and I are the same. Just alike.
There are probably a lot of ladies you could go out and have a good time with, Bubba.
Yeah, well, I want to have a good time with you. Because you're young. And you're innocent. You never had a real fella, did you? No. Well, I'll tell you something. I could show you what a real woman feels like. There's a lot of things. A lot of things I could teach you.
Bubba, don't! That's Miss Kate. She's calling to check up on me. If I don't answer that, she'll probably be up here. She'll bring Justin with her. Justin and Ashley are over at the house. I don't think he'd be too happy to find you here.
All right. I'm going to go now. But I'm going to go tell you one time you don't say anything about me being here. Because if you open that pretty little mouth of yours, you will be sorry that you were ever born. Do you understand? I'll be back up here sometime. And we'll talk some more about being friends.
Lacey, if you don't want to talk about your father, well...
Wouldn't do any good. I can't get through to him, so what'd be the point in talking about it?
Well, if you told me what the trouble is, maybe I could help.
It drives me crazy.
Most fathers are that way about their daughters. I suppose if I had a daughter, I might be a little overprotective, too.
He's obsessive about it.
Now, Lacey.
It's true. At Max and Rena's barn dance, I was dancing with Jeb Hampton, having a terrific time. And Dad came in. Said we had to go. Freaks out every time he sees me with a guy.
Did you leave?
Didn't know what else to do. I was angry and embarrassed. I didn't want to upset him. I don't know what to do. I went out with two really nice guys in prep school. Dad pulled the same thing. So I went out with him behind his back.
Did he find out?
Eventually. If he hadn't have been out of the country so much, I wouldn't have had any friends at school. Not boyfriends, anyway.
Did you go out with Jeb Hampton behind his back?
Yes. He had a fit when he found out.
You can't blame him.
So you think I'm at fault?
Oh, of course not, darling.
Aunt Iris, I love my father. He's been terrific to me. And I don't want to hurt him. I have to live my own life.
I understand that.
Dad can't.
Well, perhaps if you did spend some time at the country
It
club...
wouldn't make any difference who their families were. Whether they lived in River Oaks or went to the right schools. Dad wouldn't.
Suppose I have a talk with him.
Everybody in 10 minutes!
You two aren't exactly getting along these days.
Grant and I have only one major area of disagreement.
If you take my side, you'll have two. I guarantee you that.
I'll take that chance.
Thank you, Aunt Iris.
Now, about your going to the coop tonight, will you reconsider?
Aunt Iris, I really do want to hear Ricky Dicker sing.
I overheard you talking about the co-op. Did you change your mind about going?
No, I didn't. I wonder why Grant is so overprotective of Lacey. What are you thinking?
You don't want to know.
Tell me anyway.
I think you should stay out of it.
Pity the girl is my niece.
Mr. Wheeler's going to be furious.
Don't worry. I'll find a way to deal with him.
You haven't so far.
Give me time.
Elena, you can't do this. I'm not going to let you do this.
We don't have any choice, and Ruby knows that.
Yes, we do. Now, look, we can just take the money that we got and run with it. I don't think the cops are looking after me, so we can make it to the border.
No, Joe.
Look, we can be in Mexico tomorrow morning, hop on a plane, go to South America.
I am not going to South America with stolen money.
It's not stolen money.
Ernie got that money from selling drugs. Now, that's the same thing as far as I'm concerned.
Well, what are you suggesting?
Well, I think Ruby was telling you the truth when she said she wouldn't turn you in.
Are you crazy? I wouldn't trust that woman for 2 seconds.
She's got nothing to gain by turning you in, and besides, she needs me now.
Oh, great. So she doesn't turn me in now. She waits until it's convenient for her. I'm telling you, a woman is not to be...
We don't have any other choice.
Did Justin leave those beer bottles on the front porch?
Yes.
I hope you're not planning to spend time cleaning up after him.
Well, no, I won't. Oh, did you call the Harper place?
Yes, there was no answer. If Lurleen isn't back in 10 minutes, I'm going up looking for her.
Well, maybe she stopped by Wanda's and Buddy's. You know, Buddy and Buddy Jr. and Steve are out on that camping trip. Wanda's kind of lonely. What are you doing in here? Why don't you go out on the porch? It's cool out there.
I thought Ashley and Justin were out there.
No. No, they're in the study looking at the photo albums.
Kate, don't you think it's kind of strange that Ashley and Justin are getting married next week?
Well, if he insists on marrying that girl.
Think he's really given up on Rena?
Well, I certainly hope so. Maybe her pregnancy has had something to do with their sudden marriage plans.
Or Ashley's being pregnant.
Ginny, I'm surprised to hear you say a thing like that.
Well, it's logical, isn't it? I can't think of another reason that Justin would make such a commitment.
Now I know how upset you are about Ryan's problems.
Ashley's responsible for most of those problems. She betrayed Ryan. He trusted her. She's worse than Justin.
Jenny, listen to yourself. You're so bitter and angry. Don't let them do that to you.
I can't help how I feel, Kate.
Ryan will find a way to prove that he's innocent. Don't you believe that?
Half the time, I do.
But he needs your conviction and support. Now more than ever. Well, Jenny, come on, let's go out on the porch.
You go ahead. I'll be with you in a minute. Lurleen! Lurleen!
That doesn't all right. Hey, good crowd, isn't it? Well, I'll stay busy been all week. Yeah, that'll make Billy Joe happy. Yeah.
What ought to make Billy Joe happy?
Oh, Roy and I were just talking about how things have picked up.
Oh, yeah?
Where you been?
I had to talk to Mr. Parnell about putting some new equipment in the kitchen here. What's going on?
Well, everything's under control, but you missed all the excitement.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, Ruby's friend, Tom T. Hall, sang a couple of songs.
Oh, yeah, she told me he was in town. How'd he do?
He was terrific, and the customers loved him.
That's great. Hey, where's Ruby anyway? I haven't seen her all evening.
She went over to the Top of the World Club to talk to Paige.
Talk about what?
About the possibility of my singing them.
What do you mean about the possibility
No,
of
it's
singing?
not definite yet. It's just an idea.
It's a lousy idea. I'm sick and tired of my sister trying to call the shots.
Look, in the first place, it was my idea, not Ruby's. And in the second place, I'm not going anywhere until you find somebody to take my place.
Oh, great. Well, what if I don't want somebody to take your place?
We'll try and look at it from my point of view.
I don't want to look at it from your point of view. Ruby had no right or no business talking to Paige Marshall without checking with me first. Damn, she gets me burned.
Billy Joe, Ruby was just checking out the possibilities. Look, anyway, what difference does it make whether you got me singing here or some other singer? I'm not a name. I don't have any draw.
You're Elena's brother. You bring people
I'm tired of being known as Elena's brother. Now, if I'm going to make it as a singer, I want to make it on my own.
Hey, big brother.
I want to talk to you, Ruby. What do you think's going to happen to you if Ruby turns me in?
That won't happen.
Say that it does!
Don't you think they're going to arrest you too? You've been hiding me, Elena. They got laws against people harboring fugitives.
But Bernie's death was an accident. And Chris Shaw was trying to kill you.
The cops ain't going to believe that in a million years.
But you explained everything to them in that confession that you wrote to clear Dennis Carrington of Chris Shaw's murder. Now, if they accepted that, they've got to believe you.
Elena, it just doesn't work that way.
I can't leave Houston with that money. I just can't do it. Look, Joe, I can take that job at the Coop. It pays well, and as soon as we have enough money, we can leave Houston. We can go to Mexico, we can get jobs, and everything will be just fine.
Gus spent a lot of that money. But there's still at least $800,000 left. I've been waiting all my life for this break.
We'll get it another way.
How?
I don't know. Maybe I can make another record. But I will get it.
Okay. You win. But I can't stay here. Because if Ruby gets it in her head to turn me in, it's over for both of us.
Well, we can't find another apartment until the morning.
Okay, look. You gotta go tell Ruby that you're gonna sing at the Coop. I'll go with you. On the way, we'll stop at a motel. We'll rent a room. We'll stay there tonight.
Okay. Why don't we get dressed and I'll pack your things for you.
Hey. I think everything's gonna be all right.
I'm okay now.
All right, now tell me what happened.
I don't want to talk about it.
Did Bubba hurt you? Lurleen, you must tell me whether Bubba hurt you.
No, he just grabbed me and threw me around, that's all. I promise.
Okay, I believe you.
Oh, Jenny, it was awful. I get sick every time I think about the things he said to me.
It's all over now.
I can't stop shaking.
You're safe.
If Bubba hadn't been scared away, I don't know what I would have done. I didn't know he was going to be up there,
I know.
Jenny. If I'd known he was going to be up there, I never would have gone. I thought since they were finished with the oil well and the cleanup operation, he wouldn't be around anymore.
I'm going to go call the sheriff and talk to Harley.
Oh, no, you can't do that.
Honey, Bubba won't leave you alone unless you do something about it.
He warned me not to tell anyone. If he finds out that I did, there's no telling what he will do to me.
Calm down.
He's mean and vicious, Jenny.
If he knows, he'll be arrested. He won't bother you anymore.
He won't care. He'll just think he can get away with it.
No, he won't think that.
Yes, he will. And Harley
can't watch me 24 hours a day. Bubba knows that. And he's just going to wait.
Wait, Lurleen, I'm going to get someone. I know someone who will protect you.
Oh, no, you can't tell Miss Kate. She can't know this. Ginny, you promised me
I
not
never
to
should
tell...
have promised not to tell Kate that you were so afraid of Bubba. Now, if she would have known that, she never would have let you go up there in the first place, alone.
I didn't know he was going to be up there, Ginny. I swear.
I'm not blaming you, sweetheart. I don't think that anyone will think that you led Bubba on. Is that what you're afraid of?
Everybody will think that.
No, that's not true. Now, you get that right out of your head, okay? Right now. Justin can protect you.
Oh, no.
Bubba works for Justin, and he's probably more scared of Justin than he is of the police or the sheriff. Now, I know that Justin can take care of Bubba.
I don't want anybody to know about
There's
this.
no reason for Justin to tell anyone.
I don't want him to know.
He can help you, and so can Kate. There's no reason for you to go through the rest of your life being terrified of Bubba Wadsworth. Now, you have to do something. Now.
We're gonna have this out once and for all.
I was doing you a favor, Joe.
You're not doing me no favor when you take away the only entertainment I have here left at the coop.
You don't want Ricky to stay here if he's not happy, do you?
He seems happy enough to me.
Look, where a singer gets his start is very important. Now, the coop is Elena's territory. Everybody knows that. She's the one who put it on the map. You don't think Ricky wants to stand in Elena's shadow, do you?
He's not in her shadow.
He doesn't want to be booked as Elena's brother. Now, I can understand that. Why can't you?
This whole thing was your idea, Ruby. Don't tell me it wasn't.
Listen, honey, I'm just trying to protect my client and keep him happy.
You have no business going to Paige like that. Setting up arrangements without checking with me first. I still run the coop here, you know.
Yeah, and you're going to have both hands full the minute you start on the Phil Roberts show. You know that, and so do I. You need some help.
That's not giving me any help when you pull out the rug from underneath me. That's what you do every time you go up and make arrangements without checking with me first.
So this is the thanks I get for trying to patch up your old friendship.
What are you talking about?
Well, I might as well tell you now. The real reason I booked Ricky at the Top of the World Club was so I could get you and Elena back together again.
Justin, you knew when you became associated with that man that he was no good?
I didn't know he'd try to terrorize the girl, Grandma.
Well, you knew his reputation. He's trash. Lurleen was frightened of him from the day he started drilling for oil on the Harper place. Didn't you see that?
I saw him flirting with her, Grandma. I told him I'd wrap him right around the nearest telephone pole. I thought that would take care of it.
Well, you were wrong.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
If you don't do something about Bubba Wadsworth, I will.
I'll take care of him.
And soon.
As soon as I can find him, Grandma.
Is there anything that I can do to help Lurleen?
No, Jenny's taking care of her.
Well, good night, Mr. Marshall.
I'll call you later, Grandma.
Justin's going to take care of Bubba Wadsworth.
I feel so ashamed.
There's nothing for you to be ashamed of.
Now, Jenny's right, honey. You just sit down here, and I'll get some brandy for you.
I'll get it for you, Kate.
He said we were two of a kind. I was trash just like him.
Now, that's not true, Lurleen.
Maybe it is. When Granddaddy acting the way he does, getting drunk and thrown in jail all the time.
I've known your granddaddy since he moved out here 40 years ago. He was full of love for his family. He was determined to make a better life for his children and his grandchildren. He took extra jobs to pay for books and magazines and shoes and school clothes. And he read the Bible to you and taught you what the difference was between right and wrong.
Yes, he did.
He pinned his hopes on striking oil. And when his dreams died, a part of him died with them, and he gave in to despair. But, honey, your granddaddy is not a thing like Bubba Wadsworth, and neither are you.
Mr. Carrington, how nice to see you. Come on in.
Hello, Vivian.
Good evening, Elliot.
Iris, I hope you don't mind my stopping by.
Isn't it past your bedtime?
I apologize for not calling first.
Is something wrong? That will be all for now, Vivian. Now, what's wrong, Elliot?
Well, I don't want to alarm you, but I've just come from the top of the World Club. Dennis was there, and I'm afraid he left the place rather upset.
Upset about what?
Well, it's what I told you the other day. He's upset about Paige. You told me that you'd talked to him and everything was all right.
Yes, I did, and he seemed fine.
Well, apparently you were mistaken.
You're acting as if I did something wrong. As if it's my fault that he's in an unhappy frame of mind.
Iris, Dennis needs help. Professional help. I'm not blaming you for that, and I don't see why you should be so opposed to his seeing someone.
I'm against his seeking professional help, as you put it, because I think it's unnecessary. Now, where is he? I'll call him. We'll straighten this out immediately.
I don't know where he is. I stopped by his place. He wasn't there. I tried calling.
Just exactly what did he say to you at the top of the World Club?
It's not important.
I get the feeling it's very important. Are you hiding something, Elliot?
Dennis accused me of lying to him about Paige and myself.
And did you? In other words, what you're telling me is that you and Paige are having an affair.
No, that is not what I'm saying, and that's not what's happening.
It's what you'd like to have happen.
It really isn't any concern of yours what my feelings for Paige are.
How could you, Elliot, with that woman?
We've gone out together. That's the extent of it. And if things continue as they are, I doubt we'll go out again together.
But you might.
At the moment, Paige has refused to see me again.
I think that would be best for all concerned.
Look, I didn't come here to talk about Paige and me. I came about Dennis. Something has to be done.
Yes, I agree. And I think Dennis will be just fine once you stop carrying on with his wife. That's what has to be done.
Dennis and Paige are getting a divorce.
It's not that simple, and you know it.
I don't want to argue about it.
I don't want to argue with you either.
Look, I want you to talk to Dennis and see if you don't agree that he's more disturbed than you've been willing to admit.
If you think he's so disturbed, you talk to him. He looks up to you.
I've tried talking to him, and I can't get through to him. I think he needs to see a doctor, a professional who is trained to treat people with emotional problems.
No one in my family has ever gone to a psychiatrist, and they're not going to start now.
Iris.
If anyone needs to see a doctor, Elliot, it's you. Vivian?
Yes, dealer.
You can leave now, Elliot. You've upset me enough for one night. Show that man to the door, Vivian.
Thanks, Roy. Yeah, I was beginning to think I wasn't going to see any more of you until Deb came back.
Anyone hear from you?
Well, I was talking to Kate out at the ranch today, and she thought you might call me.
I was the one who talked to him going to Dallas.
Is that right?
I thought he and Courtney should make up their minds about each other. How are you going to sing, Ricky?
Soon.
I was afraid I'd missed you. I wanted to come earlier, but I had a little run-in with Aunt Iris. Apparently the coop isn't too popular among
And she didn't want you to come.
She went on about all the terrible things that have happened to you.
Well, maybe she won't give you so much flack about coming up to the top of the world.
Are you going to be singing at the top of the world?
I might.
I love top of the world stuff.
You do? Well, in that case, I'm going to have to give it some more serious thought. That is, if you'll come up and hear me.
Dad and I go there all the time. We're both cousins.
Oh, well, that wasn't exactly what I had in mind.
Billy Joe, I've got to think about business.
I ain't thinking about business.
I won't cancel again.
That's what I thought before, and look what happened.
I promise this time will be different. Well, I think I'm going to leave you two alone so we can talk it out. If you want me, I'll be in the bar. Does it bother you so much to look at me? You hate me, don't you? Guess you have every right to feel that. But I'm begging you to let me come.
You don't have to beg me. All you have to do is tell me why you did it to me, that's all. All I want to do is understand you.
He's just under a strain, that's all. So,
I'd like to believe that, Elena. But I just can't, though.
Ruby tells me that Ricky's going to start singing at the top of the world club.
Only if I let him. Did you tell you that?
Did you really stop him? Really want him to go? I think I can help you. I'm only asking you for a few nights, and then if you want to replace me, that'll be fine. I need you. I think you need me too. Hey.
Oh, Ruby, you know Lacey Wheeler, don't you?
Sure. Nice to see you again.
Hey, what went on in there with Billy Joe?
Well, they're talking things out. I think they're going to work everything out okay. Hey, it's almost time for the show. We should go in and save the table for Elena. I know she wants to hear you sing.
Yeah, Lacey's going to join us, too.
That's all right.
Sure, it's all right. Isn't it, Ruby?
Sure. Telling me last week that she was a little bit worried about who she rented that apartment to above here. I was wondering how that worked out.
Funny you should ask, because she found out yesterday and skipped out without paying.
Well, has she found anyone to put in there?
Not yet.
You think she's home right now?
I reckon she is.
Well, do you have a dime? I'd like to call her.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Sorry we're late.
Fine.
We had to stop and look at a couple places for an associate of mine.
Did you find him?
No, but I will.
Anybody want any coffee or brandy?
Oh, I will. Vivian, brandy for me.
Me too.
No, just some herb tea.
Oh, well, I will have to have a brandy, Vivian. Has your job situation been straightened out yet?
Ashley is working as my secretary now. I took care of that this afternoon.
Assistant, dear.
Assistant.
Well, I'm happy to hear that. Have you discussed any wedding plans?
Yes.
Yes. We thought we'd have a quiet ceremony here in Houston. I thought I'd get Johnny Atwood to officiate. We went to school together. He's a judge now.
Oh, that's a nice idea. And where will you hold the ceremony? Have you decided on that?
Well, we wanted to have it at the ranch.
I wanted to have it at the ranch, thank you, Vivian. But that's out of the question.
You own a controlling interest in the ranch, don't you? Thank you, dear.
Yes, I do own a controlling interest.
It's how you're going to triple World Oil's production so quickly. Isn't that correct?
Well, there's a small problem about that.
What kind of small problem?
I don't own the mineral rights.
Who does?
My grandmother. I'm taking her to court, so it'll be a while before I can drill out there.
Well, what about the production division of World Oil? Will it suffer because of this development?
No, it won't. Not at all, Mrs. Wheeler. I mean, Justin has so many projects going.
I was under the impression that the ranch was a sure thing.
Oh, so are the projects in Louisiana. I mean, he has bought into the Tuscaloosa Trend. He has leased 22,000 acres of the Wichita Thrust Belt. And a lot of people think that it's a geological relative of the Rocky Mountain Thrust Belt. And it'll be just as productive. You wait and see. Justin is going to triple World Oil's production division sooner than you can blink an eye. Ranch or no ranch.
Can I invest in one of your oil wells?
Sure, Vivian. How much you want to invest?
$110.
$110's a deal.
Will you take a check?
Why don't you just let me invest my own money in it, and when the well comes in, I'll take 150 out of profits, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sure.
Oh, you'll make a wonderful president of World Oil.
I plan to do my best.
Brian's going to submit his resignation soon?
Well, as long as Grant supports him, I think that they can stall as long as they can.
Well, is there any way we can counter their delaying tactics?
Sure. Go public with the information that Ryan is suspected of embezzling company funds.
Do you really think that's wise? I mean, wouldn't it shake the public's confidence in the company and the confidence of those who do business with the company?
We don't have to leak the whole story at once. Just enough to throw some suspicion on Ryan. Get people asking questions. Otherwise, Ryan can hang on here for 2 or 3 months.
One of Alex's good friends is the business and finance editor of one of the newspapers here. I suppose I could call him and just have a little chat.
What the hell are you doing, Justin?
I'm looking over these memos here.
You planted this story about Johnson's statement and the charges he made against me, didn't you?
Well, I haven't spoken with anyone at the newspaper.
You and Iris and Grant are the only ones who know about this. Now, Iris called the paper, didn't she?
Well, you'll have to speak to Iris about it.
I'm asking you. I want some answers, Buster.
Buster, I don't know anything about it.
You've gone one step too far, Justin.
Oh, good morning, Grant.
I was just looking for you.
My heavens, what's wrong?
I'm reading about Ryan Connor in the newspaper.
Oh.
Who planted that article?
Well, what makes you think someone planted an article?
Sources close to those in power at World Oil today denied persistent rumors about a major investigation into the misappropriation of company funds. A top-level executive is said to be involved in the embezzlement scheme. Ryan Connor, acting president of World Oil, could not be reached for comment.
I don't know what you're so upset about. That article doesn't accuse Ryan of anything.
This article is carefully written to avoid a libel suit, but anybody in the business community who reads it is going to know that Ryan is under suspicion.
Ah, well, that's too bad for Ryan.
Yes, it is. It's also too bad for the company. In your quest for revenge, you're going to destroy everything that Alex has built. You really want that, Iris? Do you really hate Ryan Connor that much?
Morning, Maggie.
Oh, hi, honey. How you doing?
Oh, all right. I was wondering if I could borrow your car for a little while.
Well, sure.
Thanks.
You're, kind of dressed up just to be going shopping.
Oh, I'm not going shopping, Maggie. I thought since I had the morning off, I'd go see a lawyer about getting a divorce from Billy Joe. Be long. But then I don't know. I've never had a divorce before.
Nita, are you sure this is what you want?
It's the only thing I can do.
That's not what I ask you.
Maggie, what do you want me to say?
Honey, I just want to be sure that you have thought this thing out.
Maggie, we've talked and we've talked about this. I don't know what else to do. I suppose if it was up to me, I'd let this thing drag on for another 2 months. But what you said the other day about me playing up to Billy Joe, that's not fair to him. And you were right. So you see, I have to do something.
Oh, now, honey, I'm not trying to make you change your mind. I mean, you know that I've always felt this marriage with Billy Joe was a disaster.
Yeah, I know.
It's your life. You're the one that's got to live it. But, honey, I feel like you still love Billy Joe a whole lot.
Maggie, of course I still love him. He's the father of my baby. I just can't live with him.
Now, that sounds real nice and thought out. It sounds just a little bit too thought out, Nita. What about what's in your heart? What about your heart?
It's my heart that's been causing the problems. I've been so afraid, Maggie. And I've been holding back out of this fear. fear of just being alone. Bringing up my baby all by myself. Maybe not being able to attract other men.
Oh, Nita, honey, you know that is silly.
No, Maggie, but that's how I feel. You know, I guess what I've realized is no matter how strong all these fears are, it's not good enough reason to jeopardize my baby's life. And that is what I'd be doing if I would move back in with Billy Joe. Besides, I promised him, I told him I was going to get a divorce, and I can't go back on my word.
Nita, people change their minds, you know. There's nothing wrong with that.
Well, I can't change my mind anymore.
Are you sure?
Oh, as sure as anybody could possibly be in this situation. No, I've made up my mind. I better not keep that lawyer waiting any longer, huh? I'll see you later.
I want what's best for the company. And having an embezzler as president is not my idea of what's best.
Now, you and Justin agreed to keep this a private matter until Ryan had a chance to defend himself against these charges.
He's had time. And he hasn't been able to defend himself successfully.
Well, that's a little difficult. Against half-truths and veiled accusations.
Oh, now let's not exaggerate, Grant. We do have Mr. Johnson's statement.
We can't find Johnson to even question him about that statement.
Well, that's not my problem.
No, it isn't. No, your problem is your stubbornness. And your absolute refusal to admit that you might be mistaken about his innocence.
The possibility of Ryan's innocence is becoming less and less likely, and we can't wait forever.
By we, I suppose you're referring to you and Justin.
Well, you can take it whatever way you wish.
Oh, Iris. Can't you see what's happening?
All too well.
I'm talking about Justin.
Oh.
He's flattered you. He's placated your every whim. Until the point where you believe everything that he says, especially when he's talking about Ryan. He's the one that planted that article, isn't he?
No. I did. I called the business and finance editor. He was a friend of Alex's.
Well, at least you're honest about that.
I've always been honest.
No, you haven't. You haven't been honest about yourself. You haven't been honest about your grief. And you haven't been honest about your future without Alex. Now, that's what you should be spending all your time and energy on. Instead of trying to destroy Ryan and subjecting the company to an open scandal in the process.
Ryan can save the company from scandal by submitting his resignation immediately. He's the one who needs the lecture on honesty, not I.
Dennis? Are you there? Hello? Hello?
Why don't you go back to your office, dictate your letter of resignation to your new secretary?
Not a chance.
You're saving yourself a lot of trouble. You're fighting a losing battle.
You're fighting a dirty battle. I'm going to fight you on your terms now, Justin.
Once the board takes a look at that little item in the newspaper, they're not going to be very happy.
Well, when they call me and ask me what's going on, I'm going to tell them the truth. I'll say that you're trying to railroad me out of the company so that you can take over my job.
Well, you won't be able to convince them because you have no proof.
And I'm also going to tell them that you fabricated that statement from Johnson. And when I find them,
Don't worry, I'll prove it.
They won't believe you. Not unless you find Johnson, of course. Pay him to side with you.
No, I don't think Johnson needs to be paid off. I'm sure once he understands what you're up to, he'll tell me the truth.
Well, lots of luck.
I'm also going to tell anyone who will listen that I suspect you of slant drilling. So all those projects you have this company's money invested in are going to come to a halt. And directional surveys are going to be made on everyone to make sure that you're drilling legally. You understand?
The survey at the Harper property proved that I was drilling legally. We made a deal not to discuss that, buddy.
The deal's off, buddy.
Justin, what are you so fired up about? Bridegroom jitters?
Ryan Connor spreading the word that I was slant drilling.
Well, so what?
So he could ruin my reputation in about 30 seconds, Bubba.
Nobody can prove we were slant drilling down to the Harper place.
That's not the point.
Well, the only point I can see.
A man's word is very important in this business, Bubba. If people think that they can't trust me, they won't do business with me.
Justin, you must be kidding. You offer somebody a pile of money, he'll do business with the devil.
Most people don't share your concept of right and wrong, Bubba.
Well, you do. Anyway, I thought that Ryan Connor wasn't going to talk about the Harper well because he wanted to protect the good name of World Oil.
Changed his mind.
No, he's just bluffing. He's too much of a company man to start a rumor.
You read the paper this morning, Bubba?
Sport pages, why?
There's an article in here, a little item about Ryan Connor in the business and financial section. It suggests that he's involved in embezzling company money.
Well, is he?
Well, he hasn't proved his innocence so far.
Is this feller Johnson? I mean, did he have anything to do with this?
Not anymore. He's left town. Hasn't he?
As far as I know, he plumb disappeared.
You better make sure of that. There's another thing you better make sure of, Bubba.
What's that?
You better stay away from Lurleen Harper.
Lurleen?
I was out at the ranch last night when she came back from her granddad's place. She was hysterical because you terrorized her.
Why, I never saw Lurleen last night.
Right, come on in. Thank you.
Iris isn't here. She won't be back for a little while.
That's good. All I need right now is a fight with Iris.
You had any more trouble since that article this morning?
Well, at least one person called to offer their support. Ginny.
Well, I'm glad to see that you haven't lost your sense of humor. Have some coffee?
Absolutely. If I couldn't find anything to smile about, I'd go crazy.
Have you spoken with Justin?
Yeah, I talked to him. He denies having planted the item.
He's telling the truth. Iris did.
With a little prodding from Justin, I'll bet.
Probably.
Just can't understand why Iris is acting this way. She's a bright, intelligent woman. She's got everything in the world going for her.
Except she no longer has Alex. I can't get to her. I've tried, but I just can't.
Well, I think I found a way to reach Justin. I told him I was going to start spreading rumors about a slant drilling. The whole story about...
You can't do that.
Well, I'm running out of alternatives.
Look, I understand the frustration. But spreading rumors is only going to make it worse. Not only for you, but for the company.
Well, Justin sure as hell doesn't care about the company.
That's right. But you do.
Yeah, you're right, I do. And I'm not going to let Justin take over, no matter what I have to do.
Dennis, open this door. I know you're in there. It's your mother.
You may as well open this door because I'm not going away.
Well, it's about time. Oh, Dennis, you look perfectly dreadful. Oh, my God.
Would you like a beer?
I can't believe this mess.
Sorry.
It's frightful, Dennis. How could you live this way?
I didn't feel like cleaning up.
I've been so worried about you. Called last night, all this morning. Where have you been?
Right here.
Well, then why didn't you answer?
Hey, I just didn't feel like being sociable, you know?
I wasn't calling to be sociable. I was calling to find out how my son was doing. And now that I get here, I find he's not doing very well at all. Oh, come on. Won't you please tell your mother what this is all about?
Rather not.
Dennis.
Look, why don't you just go away and leave me alone like everybody else has?
It's Elliot who's done this to you, isn't it? He came to see me last night.
Oh, yeah? Did he tell you about the little scene I caused at the top of the World Club the other night?
Among other things.
Well, he must be very upset with me. Dad?
Elliot is not your father. Alex was.
Look, let's not talk about it, all right?
Alex would never have done this to you. Well, you were right all along. Paige and Elliot are having an affair. Of course, he denied it, but I know it's true.
This is all Paige's doing.
Of course it is, and
I'm not
Elliot's
gonna
a fool for not seeing that.
I'm not going to let her get away with this.
Look, darling, what you have to do is forget her. And Elliot, they are the ones who have done this to you.
No, what I have to do is make Dad see her for what she really is.
They're not worth the effort.
Well, I'm not going to let her get away with it.
Elliot thinks you need to see a psychiatrist.
I know all about what Dad thinks.
Do you want to?
No, I don't want to, but I will if it'll get everybody off my back.
Well, I don't think you need a psychiatrist. Just need a little rest. If anyone should seek help, it's Elliot.
I don't mind.
Just go away for a little while. You've just been cleared of a murder you didn't commit, and now you're going through a divorce. That's too much for anyone to deal with. Just get away. Take a little vacation. Someplace where you can relax and think things through.
I'll go to the doctor, and then I'll get away.
Ashley and Justin are going to be using the yacht for their honeymoon, but well, we'll work out something. A cruise would be relaxing. And in the meantime, I'll tell Elliot that you have agreed to see a doctor, just to set his mind at ease.
Don't you lie to me, Bubba.
Why, I spent most of the night down to the Dewdrop Inn. Ask him. He'll tell you it's true.
That's a lie.
Oh, it ain't a lie. You check on her.
I saw Lurleen. I saw the state she was in. She wouldn't make up a story like that. I told you once before, Bubba. I told you to stay away from her. You come within an inch of her and I'll kill you.
You believe her? Why, shoot, that puny little kid's still wet behind the ears.
Lurleen is a sweet and innocent kid, and she's going to stay that way. I've closed my eyes to a lot of things, Bubba, but not that. You hear me? You get out of here before I lose my temper.
Now, you wait a minute, Justin. All right. All right.
Justin, what's wrong?
Bubba was just here.
Did you ask him about Lurleen?
He claims he wasn't even with her.
He's lying.
I swear, if he touches her, I'll kill him.
Well, I know that he scared her half to death, but he didn't rape her.
Well, that's what he had in mind, Ashley. Why do you think he went up there?
Well, did you tell him that you would kill him?
Yes.
All right. Then you've done everything that you can do. So just calm down.
Just makes me furious. Think of him with his hands on her.
Listen, Bubba Wadsworth is a mean man, but he's not stupid. And he's not going to do anything that's going to risk his life. So you just don't have to worry about that. Okay?
running out of patience real fast.
I understand, but you've got to keep your head.
If enough of the board members get angry enough about this article in the paper, Iris can vote me out tomorrow.
She can't call a board meeting in the middle of the night. She has to give notice.
Look, if Iris and Justin can get enough people angry about this, I'm dead. Now, I can sit around, I can deny the charges all I want, but without any proof, no one's going to believe me.
Oh, that's true. But slander is not the answer.
This isn't slander, this is the truth.
Oh. You want to play in his ballpark, huh?
Yeah, you bet I do.
And what about the company? Just go to hell?
With Justin in the company, it's going down anyway.
No, it isn't. Ryan, it's still World Oil.
You've maintained it at exactly the same level as Alex left it.
So what am I supposed to do, Grant? Sit around and wait for a break? I'm not going to get a break unless I find Johnson.
All right, I'll go to Conroe with you.
No. I'll be in touch with you.
All right, but just don't do anything rash until we find out whether Johnson's a dead end, all right?
Okay. We ought to know something by this afternoon.
I have a feeling that he's still in Houston.
Do you want some more coffee, Mr. Wheeler?
Nothing.
Oh, well, then I'm going to start preparing lunch soon, so do you have any requests?
No. Vivian,
Yes, sir.
how long have you worked for Mrs. Wheeler?
Here in Houston, about 6 months, but before that, back in Bay City, I worked for a couple of years.
Then you must know Dennis pretty well.
Oh, Dennis and I are old chums.
I wish I knew him better, so I could understand what he's going through.
Well, I'll tell you anything you want to know about Dennis.
Does he have many friends?
Oh, back in Bay City he did, but here he's kept pretty much to himself, but I think that's mostly because of his getting married and everything.
Well, he and his mother have always been very close, haven't they?
Well, sort of, but I actually think that Mrs. Wheeler's been a little bit closer than Dennis.
What do you mean?
Well, they used to argue pretty regularly about the things Mrs. Wheeler would do to try to help Dennis, you know.
Well, she can be pretty dogmatic at times.
Beg pardon?
Well, when she feels she's right, she's reluctant to let go.
Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. But you got to understand that Mrs. Wheeler usually has the best intentions.
I'm sure she does.
And Dennis is usually pretty good about telling Mrs. Wheeler to mind her own beeswax, you know, once he sees what she's up to.
You're very fond of him, aren't you?
I think Dennis is a super person. At least, he used to be.
What do you mean?
Well, he's been real moody these days. I think that has mostly to do with all this stuff he's been going through lately, and I'm sure he's going to pull out of it soon.
I hope so.
You can't see this one.
What is it?
Oh, I can't tell you. No! You'll see it tonight.
I guess I can wait a little longer.
Oh, don't let me forget to give you your charge cards back.
Did you fill out those forms to get your own cards?
I picked some out, but I don't have time to fill them out. I'll fill them out later.
You can do that while we're sailing out into the Gulf.
Have you talked to Judge Alfred?
Yeah, he'll be here this afternoon. Did you change your mind about having any guests at the wedding?
Sweetheart, if we invited everyone that was on your list, the yacht would sink.
I don't have that many people on my list.
84 people will not fit on the yacht.
If I invite one fraternity member, I have to invite them all. I can't invite the Spencers without inviting the Mannings.
I know,
then if I invite the
know.
Mannings,
I know all that. I have the same problem. And that's why I say that we shouldn't invite anyone.
All right. It just won't be much of a celebration.
Yes, it will. We'll have a big celebration when we get back. Big reception. Invite everyone.
I called Grandma again. I invited her.
She's not coming, though, is she?
No, and it's not because of you. It's because of me. She'll come to the reception, darling.
How do you know that?
Well, if she doesn't, people will talk, and Grandma can't take that.
But I want her to come because she wants to. Not because it's the proper thing to do.
Give her time. I mean, she'll accept both of us eventually, darling.
I don't think she's going to accept either one of us if you succeed in getting Ryan Connor kicked out of this company.
Would you rather have my grandmother's approval or my becoming president of World Oil?
I want both. I mean, if I had to choose one, I would want you to be president of the company.
That's my girl. Hmm?
Uh-oh. I still want you to try for reconciliation with your grandmother.
I'm trying. Oh, the bride and groom aren't supposed to see each other before the wedding, are they?
Well, now it's a little late for that, don't you think? Since I woke up with you this morning.
Oh, yeah. Well, so much for old wives' tales.
Oh, I've got to get out of here and let you get some work done. Did Ryan Connor see this paper?
Well, he came thundering in here, threatening all kinds of things.
What kind of things?
Doesn't really matter. Can't do anything without Mr. Johnson. He's never going to find Mr. Johnson.
Get your hands out of there.
Oh, my goodness. Ryan Connor is in trouble. Hello, this is Mr. Johnson in 104. I'd like to make a local call, please. Thank you.
Wheeler residence?
May I speak to Mrs. Wheeler?
I'm sorry, she's not in right now. May I take a message?
When will she return?
I'm not exactly sure. Who's calling?
It's not important.
Well, I can't give her a message if I don't know your name.
Never mind. I'll call back later. Thank you.
I understand you worked with Mr. Johnson, right?
That's right, but he resigned his position with the company.
I know. Were you and he close friends?
I hardly knew the man. He kept pretty much to himself.
But you must have had some conversations together, right?
Some. We had a couple of beers together one night. Very nervous type he was.
Did he have any family?
Not that I know of. He never mentioned any family. Or friends, for that matter.
Well, what'd you talk about the night you had some beers together? Huh?
Excuse me, Mr. Connor. Is Johnson in some trouble?
No, I just want some information.
I see. Well, over the beers we talked about baseball, football, computers, that sort of thing.
Do you know where Johnson lives now?
Up until a few days ago, he lived at the Live Oaks Motel. They have cabins in the back of the place.
Do you know why he moved?
No. Like I said, he's a very private person.
Listen, is there anything that stands out about Mr. Johnson to you?
Not a thing. He's your average guy. You pass him on the street, you wouldn't look twice.
Okay. Thank you, huh?
Well, hi, Elena.
Hi, Bobby Sue. Where is everybody?
Well, Maggie's upstairs keeping an eye on Billy Joe Jr. and Angela's in the back somewhere. Sit down.
Okay.
How do you like living in the new apartment?
Bobby Sue, nobody's supposed to know about that.
Nobody's here. Don't you worry, I haven't told a soul.
Good.
But I have been wondering why you didn't drop in at the beauty parlor since you're right upstairs, you know.
Well, I've been meaning to, Bobby Sue. I just really haven't had the time.
Because you're going to come back to the coop and start singing again?
Yeah.
Oh, was the furniture all right that Roy brought up?
Yes, it was fine, thank you.
You know, I still don't understand why you didn't come right out and tell Ruby you didn't want her dropping in all the time and making a pest out of herself. I mean, rather than you having to move out on the sly like that.
Well, I don't want to cause any trouble with Billy Joe, you know.
Well, I don't think you would have. Billy Joe doesn't always get along so well with his sister anyway. I don't really mind Ruby. Sometimes I think she's sort of amusing.
Like a tarantula.
What?
Nothing.
Now, of course, I understand that Ruby does get on some people's nerves. My goodness, Billy Joe has had a time with her. Yeah. But with you coming back to the coop, it's going to be easier on him.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm going to go upstairs and see Maggie.
Well, Maggie should be down in a couple of minutes. You know, as soon as Nita gets back, they have to start setting up for the lunchroom crowd. You could ask Angela if you wanted something to drink.
No, thanks, I'm not thirsty.
You know, now that I think of it, the neighborly thing to do would be for me to drop in on you.
Drop in on me?
Yeah, since you're new in my building, I could get a cake and come up and welcome you.
Bobby Sue, I don't really think that's a good idea. I really haven't had time to fix up the place or anything.
Oh, I don't mind. Heck, I saw it when it was empty. You know, since Roy and me were the ones who fixed up the place.
Well, even so, I'd rather you waited till I fixed it up a bit, and then I could ask you and Roy to come over for some cake and some coffee.
Sure.
I thought you might like to know that I've just come from seeing Dennis.
How is he?
Not very well, thanks to you.
Iris, you can't hold me responsible for Dennis's overreacting to my feelings.
Not responsible. And who, may I ask, do you think is responsible?
I've done everything I can to try to talk to Dennis and reason with him.
Everything but promise to stop seeing Paige. How can you propose to speak reasonably to Dennis when you're being so unreasonable yourself?
I don't think that my seeing Paige is at the root of Dennis's problem.
It is Dennis's problem. And even if it weren't, I'm just shocked that you don't have the good sense to see what that dreadful woman is up to.
I will not discuss my relationship with Paige. Not with you, not with Dennis, nor anyone else but Paige. It is between the two of us.
Isn't it enough that she ruined Dennis's life? Are you going to allow her to add you to the list?
I don't think Paige ruined Dennis's life. I don't think his life is ruined.
Well, if the boy I saw earlier, drunk, disheveled at 10 o'clock in the morning, if that's not ruined, I don't know what is.
Iris, the film that Paige made and the men she saw are in the past. Now, if Dennis has problems dealing with that, I'm sorry.
Sorry? You who profess to be his father? And all you can say is you're sorry?
You and Dennis cannot go on holding Paige's past mistakes against her forever.
She's the same woman she always was. The same woman who married Dennis for his money.
You have a very selective memory, Iris. You remember what you wish to remember. I believe it was you who put Dennis up to a relationship with Paige, and it's you who should take the blame.
I admit I encouraged it at first, but I never dreamed Paige would trick him into marrying her.
That's the problem, Iris. You never think about the future. You never think about the consequences of your actions. You just steamroll right through.
Are you finished?
No. When you see the condition your son is in, when your heart goes out to him, remember that if anyone is to be blamed for the state Dennis is in now, it's you.
May I disturb you for a moment?
Of course.
I can't reach a tray in the kitchen, and Mrs. Wheeler wants that tray on the yacht for the wedding reception.
Be glad to get it down.
Oh, it's so nice to have someone tall in the house. I'll get the door, you get the tray. It's the silver tray in the cabinet that I've left open. Yes, may I help you?
Is Mrs. Wheeler home yet?
No, she... Oh, you're the man who called here 3 times this morning.
Yes, it's very important that I see Mrs. Wheeler.
Well, you can't see her. She's not here.
Can I wait?
We don't have strange men.
What is it, Vivian?
This man wants to see Mrs. Wheeler.
I'm Grant Wheeler, Mrs. Wheeler's brother-in-law. May I ask your name?
My name is Johnson, and I must speak with Mrs. Wheeler.
Well, hello, Mr. Johnson. Please come in. It's all right, Vivian. I've been looking all over Texas for you. I'm trying to clear the name of Ryan Connor. Trying to disprove these allegations have been made on him, and you're our only hope.
Well, I'm sorry, I can't speak with you, sir. The business I have to discuss is with Mrs. Wheeler. I won't talk with anyone else. Perhaps I'd better come back.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't go. Don't, please. I won't ask you any questions, I promise, and I won't put any pressure on you. Now, it's a lovely day outside. Why don't you go out by the pool and wait out there? You'll be very pleasant.
Wherever I won't be in the way.
Fine, the maid will show you the way.
Thank you.
Becky, Grant Wheeler. Is Ryan there? You know where I can reach him? No. As soon as you hear from him, tell him to get over here immediately. I'm at Mrs. Wheeler's. Yes, Becky. It's urgent.
Now, here's some guacamole for you to snack on, and Angela will be out with your food in just a minute.
Thanks.
Well, I hear you're going back to the coop.
Yep. Tonight is Ricky's last night there.
I think it'll be real good for you to get back to work.
Yeah, I think so, too. Maggie, what would you say if I asked you if I could borrow some money?
Well, I'd say depends on how much it is and what you want it for.
Well, I was thinking I'd like to buy some new furniture for my apartment, and I don't think I'd need more than $5,000 or $10,000.
Well, you must be planning on some pretty fancy furniture for $10,000.
It was just a thought.
Well, I guess I could come up with that much money if you really needed it. But then, of course, we're going to talk about your plans for repaying me now.
Nita. Maggie.
Elena, hi.
Hi. How did everything go?
Well, it's done.
How do you feel?
You know, Maggie, I thought before that after I got through all this, I'd feel like this big weight was taken off my shoulders. But I don't.
What happened, Nita?
I've been to a lawyer to see about getting a divorce from Billy Joe.
I'm sorry. I knew you were thinking about it, but Billy Joe didn't say anything to me about you going to a lawyer.
No, he doesn't know about it. Oh, and please don't say anything to him. I want to talk to him first.
I wouldn't.
Honey, how about a little bit of lunch? Don't you think it's getting on to that time?
No, I'm not really hungry. I think I'll just go upstairs and check on Billy Joe Jr.
Well, now, Robert's made your favorite corn chowder. I'm going to save you a bowl of it.
Thanks.
Poor Nita.
Poor Billy Joe. He's going to fall apart. I mean, somehow, I don't really think he thought Nita would go through with it.
I don't think Nita did either.
I should have known better than to come here and expect you to be rational on the subject of Paige.
Why did you come here? To cause trouble for Paige and me? Because I'm not going to let you.
I came to tell you that Dennis has agreed to see a psychiatrist. Though if you want my opinion, it's you who needs to see the psychiatrist.
I don't want your opinion. All I want is for Dennis to get the help he needs.
Oh, Dennis. Dennis will be just fine. I've suggested that he take the yacht and go off on a short vacation. All he needs is a rest.
You didn't see Dennis at the top of the World Club last night. I think he's very deeply disturbed. I don't think a rest will change that. He needs professional help.
All right. Go ahead. Make arrangements for him to see some psychiatrist. It's a waste of time and money.
All the same to you. Why don't we let Dennis and the doctor decide that?
I'll be on my yacht later if you'd be kind enough to call me and let me know what they do decide.
I'll call and let you know.
Are you planning to continue this relationship with Paige?
I'm going to try.
find it impossible to believe that the man I was once married to could stoop so low.
Vivian. If Mr. Connor telephones, don't mention his name. Just tell me the call is from me, all right?
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Vivian.
I'm so embarrassed to be taking you away from your work. I didn't mean to be an inconvenience.
No, not at all. I was hungry, and I thought I just might share lunch with you.
You're very kind.
I had no idea it was so hot outside.
It's much more comfortable in here, yes. Well, Mr. Johnson, what made you leave your last job?
I'm sorry, I can't answer any questions.
Oh, come now, Mr. Johnson. A man's reputation, perhaps his freedom, is at stake here.
I'll say what I have to say to Mrs. Wheeler. If you persist in asking questions, I'll be forced to leave.
All right. All right. It's just that I'm terribly concerned about Mr. Connor.
I understand, and I share your concern. Believe me, I do. But I can't talk to anyone except Mrs. Wheeler.
Why, is she the only one that you can trust?
At the moment, yes.
Iris must have forgotten her key.
Vivian! Grant! It's good to see you. Hello, Mr. Johnson.